So, hi, I'm going to read from the yoga literature again. And it was a couple of months ago, I see, when I checked it now. Yeah, I've been I have continued to practice, but I do this in a very slow pace, which I need apparently. But I'm so curious and I love it so much. So yeah, I usually get pretty bored actually when I listen to or watch Kundalini yoga, for example. It's very few that I feel inspired by. I mean, it's maybe too slow for my, I don't know, something. Anyway, this is about awakening the consciousness. And I will just read. I read also because I read slower when I read out loud. So I do this for myself as well as, yeah, it's good information to get out there as well. But also, if I don't go back actually and listen to this, but it was my intent to do so because if I want to rehearse it somewhat or remind myself, I easier listen to things than read them. So anyway, so it's so bright here now. I usually don't have that, but since it's good to be able to read when you read. So first about sound and mantra now. There are lots of things about this awakening the consciousness. It includes the nature of sound, chanting mantras, the science of Nad Yoga, why chanting works, Laya Yoga and Nad Yoga, Yogi Bhajan on the word, it says actually, not the word. Varieties of mantra and sound, what does chanting achieve, the impact of the inner silence and anahat, making mantra effective, the third chakra and mantra, the word in the heavenly and earthly realms. Yogi Bhajan on mantras in Kundalini Yoga. Yogi Bhajan on the power of prayer. The quantum technology of the Sadguru. Tuning in with the Adi mantra Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Japji Sahib. Yogi Bhajan on Japji Sahib. I don't know how you pronounce that actually, but maybe I learn. Yogi Bhajan on reading from the Siri Guru Granth Sahib. Yeah. The effects of the powers of Japji Sahib. Mool mantra, mantras frequently used in Kundalini Yoga. That's this kind of chapter. And I may not read the whole of it. I will see. So, and my cat is pretty playful right now. Maybe she actually did lay down now. She was flying around the area. So, yeah, anyway. So, yeah, I want to say something about the previous. I think I have them still up. It was about. Actually, I guess I disagree, or I don't understand maybe what they meant because it was like a story about how Yogi Bhajan changed the weather or made it rain or something, made the rain stop. It was actually, I think, when they were doing some practices outdoors, and then was like not get punishment, but I was taught that you should not do that because, as I understood what I read, it was because then, all the plants and all that needed the water, and he should not interfere or influence or change the elements, because then he had to be reborn from that basic element, sort of, and go through all of the rebirths through that element. I don't understand really, but I think it was like from just being water to develop, I don't know, all that path of evolution kind of thing is what I got from it. Maybe I was wrong, but anyways, I still don't understand it, because if you want to change anything for your benefit, so to speak, then the elements would be included, even if it wouldn't just be the specific wind or whatever. Maybe this was just about a specific element itself. but still to me it sounded like, because then the teaching is like this, and I'm sorry for being critical maybe, but not so sorry. Sorry, not sorry. The teaching is like that you then I actually need to see, yeah, you can hear me, that you then shouldn't do it, so therefore you don't do it, obviously. But to me that sounds like a cop out. It sounds like an excuse, like bragging about knowing how to do something while never showing that you can do it, because you shouldn't kind of do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? To me it reminds me of people. I meet a lot of spiritual people, so that, if you then call it that, but those who work in those kinds of what they call spiritual, anyways, everything is spiritual. But yeah, so, and there, when I, as I work as a medium as well, and so there are many who claim that that's not a good way to work. You should not work with spirits like that. You should work with like higher beings, or maybe not even entities, but like, yeah, higher vibes, let's say, that are very vague and not like exact in their. They can say like, or maybe they are exact. I'm not saying they aren't, but what it sounds like to me is that since you can't prove yourself by, because usually those who communicate through you as a medium will say things that the other one understand or even know exactly, things you could not know. And that's not to like go around and trying to prove it to people. I don't work like that. English mediumship, I mean those who work in that way, as they commonly do, those in England, and those where that's spread from, like what are they called now? There are those churches like spiritualism, I think, actually is the name. That is like to prove to others. They connect and then they prove with some message or something to others that it's real, that it exists. And that's not wrong, but I don't work that way. But usually still others get so-called proof. But also on the other side, I wonder, when it comes to that, I think that you could always excuse, so to speak, anything. I mean, you can find ways to let's take this example. I won't say actually whom, but it was a close one that was married to one of my parents, let's say that. Very, very very, very big. But anyways, she this makes it even more vague. I saw one time with her that her dad came through and told that he loved her, and also showed how this is not secret now, she's not around like that. So anyways, it's nothing bad to say about anything, but anyways, and I saw they went to bathing, like not sauna, but it was like they thought it was fun, like they went over a little stream, or I mean the other family they went through to do this, whatever it was, on the weekend or something. That was a fun activity kind of with the other family. That was, I described that and so on. And this person just didn't want to understand. So the only time actually, because that father worked a lot and had a farm, I think, and all kinds of things. I mean, her father. And that was true though. She remembered, and that was the only time they actually did something like that. And that was, she knew and could explain what it was exactly, that they went to this family and did that fun activity. That was like the only thing she did with her father, really, because he was working very hard and so on. And they were many kids, I think, and so forth. But anyways, afterwards, she said, no, it couldn't have been him. He would never use words like, I love you. He would never say words like that. And I was like, yeah, sometimes, oh, someone like this. Good. Thank you. Hi. Anyways, so it was like interesting to me. now I see actually walking outside here one of those who said that exact thing about you should like communicate with higher realms, and I think sometimes that's the way to claim that you know something that you do not actually know. I mean, do things that, and no one can check it. No one can tell you if you're right or wrong, or because it's so up there in the, I don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying here? So, so I think that's the same thing with this. What Yogi Bhajan talked about there. To me, it sounded like that, and I'm sorry if I'm totally off, but that's my thought when I heard that. I mean, it's easy to claim that I'm such a good medium, but I don't do that. I only speak with uh, those vague, I don't know, you know, whatever in the higher realms that speak in frequency. So I can't even express it other than with painting a dot. No, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm just mocking things now, but I mean that I think that's the way to work sometimes if you actually aren't all that correct as a medium. And I also think that if you can influence the tattvas, the elements, that could be a. I mean, I don't think that that is impossible in any kind of way to do. It's just that maybe you aren't all that brilliant at it if you have excuses why you shouldn't be allowed to. I think that's the way to take on a mantle, or what do you say, like a, yeah, take on a, you understand why do I talk about this so much, but yeah, put some emphasis on your brilliance that you really do not have actually. And I think that's why also from that space it could be easy to, I mean, some people try, I think, now I start to speak Swedish in the midst of it all, but sometimes I think it also is that they believe someone else who have said so, someone who they think as a status kind of person, and so then they use that word, so they should look down on those who work truly with the spiritual realm, which is yeah, I do understand what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, that's what I took from that story anyways. I don't understand why the story is needed otherwise. It could just be like a story of, you should not be allowed to do that because blah blah blah. It shouldn't have to be, oh, I knew perfectly well how to do this. Believe me, I'm awesome. Listen to, I don't know. Yeah, moving on now. But that's what I think when I thought when I read that. And also, I think the reason, I don't think that it sounds like also I think I'm so much better than anyone. I truly do not think that at all. But I think one thing that is, or a few things that are in the as a block, let's say, for being able to do this in a good way, whether it's changing the tattvas or it's about doing the exact or accurate mediumship or so on, or connect even with higher realms and in the correct way. Anyway, so I actually believe that many people want that as a validation thing of their, who, I mean, it becomes their role as a higher, and if that's the aim, to be like set apart from others, it's not the aim to help or to be of service. It's rather like to boost your sense of ego. Then I guess it will go off, because then you try also to please people for them to like you, and that won't be correct, obviously. And also, the other thing is if you lie to yourself a lot, and we all do to some degree. I think it's hard to not have blind spots, but if you at least try to be as genuine and honest as you're able to, or as you also find, um, what can I say? Yeah, correct in a way, because I think it can go. Actually, that is a teaching in Ayurveda also. Everything can go into overdrive, no, but into perfectionism. Like I was super perfectionistic before. Like I couldn't say to anyone if they called if I wasn't busy. I couldn't say I was busy because I didn't want to lie, like stuff like that. and the path to not being owned, so to speak, by others who wanted to pull me in either direction was to actually use lies, so to speak. I mean, to use certain words to protect myself, because that was the path. It's not, I mean, if I'm able to, or as I'm way more now, then you can say straight out, oh, well, bye bye then, even if they won't stop talking. No, I don't know, but it's not like wrong if you try to protect someone or something. That's my absolute conviction. So it totally depends on the intent. If it's not for to cause harm or to try to manipulate someone else or whatever, then that's not a problem. So but still, you have to be honest with yourself. If you're not, then the messages will be confused. Yeah. And I think that's where I actually have very much strength. Yeah. And it really doesn't matter so much then what others believe or think, because you yourself know, and the spirits know. That's why they are so easy to be in touch with, because they understand. They see through you, and that's a good thing. Yeah, that was the song. I will have to put a link to that. See through you. That was a good one. I've had it in my mind a lot now lately, but I should not connect too much with this. I mean, need to step out from lower vibes. Maybe it's that. Maybe it wasn't that. Was that mine? I think. Oh, I think this is the one. Must. I don't even know now because I don't hear it. But I think this. I don't know the lyrics even here, but you know how I am with these songs and everything. Oh, there is actually the lyrics here. Okay, I will read the lyrics. I will link the song also. I think it has some message to someone. Sounds like I'm very exact, right? I'm so sorry. Yeah, let's see now. I ain't gonna go blind. Let's see now. Something ain't right. I'm gonna get myself connected. I ain't gonna go blind. For the light which is reflected, I see through you. I see through you. I see through you. I see through you. Your dirty tricks, you make me sick. I see through you. I see through you. Gonna do it again. Gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. Gonna do it again. Gotta do it right. Gotta do it again. Cause something ain't right. Gonna do it again. Gonna do it right. Come on. If you make sure you're connected, the writing's on the wall. But writing's on the wall. No. If you make sure you're connected, the writing's on the wall. But if your mind's neglected, stumble you might fall, stumble you might fall, stumble you might fall. I ain't gonna go blind. I will not read this all. Hear me out, do it again, do it again. I wanna through it again. Terrified, I want to do it again. Ain't gonna go blind. Maybe they just say like this. This was not the song I was thinking about actually, or this was the song, but I also connected to another song. Interstate 5 staying alive. Won't someone try open up your eyes? You must be blind if you can't see the gaping hole called reality. Oh, want to do it again? I know I'm gonna do it again. Hear me out, terrified. Something ain't right. Here we go. Yeah. Is something here now? Okay, it was another text there. Anyways, I should have sang it. Maybe not. Well, I think this is for someone. Actually beautiful lyrics. I mean, it's so much to talk about when it comes to those kinds of things. Yeah. Anyways, that was not a bad connection though. Okay, I'm just moving on. Moving on to mantras now. I thought it was very bright here, but it's not, so I will try to read anyways then. Okay. Mantra, the creative projection of the mind through sound. Man equals mind. Trang. Yeah, okay. Man means mind, like in mantra, man. And Trang means wave or projection. Wow, mantra. I didn't know that even. The science of mantra is based on the knowledge that sound is a form of energy having structure, power, and a definite predictable effect on the chakras and the human psyche. Yeah, totally. And mantras. Mantras are formulas that alter the patterns of the mind and the chemistry of the brain according to physical and metaphysical laws. The power of a mantra is in its sound vibration. The mantras used in Kundalini Yoga elevate or modify consciousness through their meaning and rhythmical repetition. It is beneficial to link a mantra to the breath. Nam, vibrational identity. What we vibrate, we become. Yeah. And my name as a yogi is Tejpal Kaur. And the Nam of that I should present myself as that when I read these anyways. Okay, the Nad, the essence of all sound. Nad is the vibrational harmony through which the infinite can be experienced. Nad Yoga, the science of Nad, is based on the experience of how sound vibrations affect the body, mind, and spirit through the movement of the tongue, the mouth, and changes in the chemicals in the brain. And I also, when it comes to the voice, just the vibration of the voice or the sound, that means when it comes to actually those that I can't listen to when it comes to yogic videos or so on, when I listen or seek those out, it's very much how they speak. Sometimes it's just too low volume or something, but it's very much the vibration of the voice that I just can't stand some, and I just totally enjoy or get blissful of some sounds. This little one, what is it called now? This tiny little Indian fellow. What is his name? His name? I can't right now. He's like he have this bright, almost childish voice, but it's lovely. It sounds so happy somehow. His voice. He is called. I don't know, but I should. I will find it and put a link beneath. I hope so. Anyways, why do I not know that? Well, he's very, very well known. Anyways, I will get back to that if I figure it out. Any one of you might know. Oh, someone is here now. Anyway, so Shabd, the sound current or vibration that dissolves the part of the ego which obstructs the truth. Oh, and prevents us from perceiving and acting from our authentic self. And that was another thought I had from the previous one with the whole elements and that. Maybe the meaning of what that story told could have been also that when you act from ego, from your limited perspective, without taking in consideration actually that you are it all, and that it, when it influences all other things like the wildlife or plants and whatnot, that was maybe the essence of that teaching, that it's not too good to do from that perspective of your ego, rather from a wiser, stronger. Oh yeah, it was long time since. Now I just do the whole yoga. I'm getting oh gosh, my earring just started to itch like crazy now on the left ear. What does that say to you? Wow. Oh, anyway, so yeah, I try to read through these and learn. I try to be a yoga teacher, or I will be to come. It takes some time though. I have a lot of things to get into balance, I guess. So how are you? How have you been? And you know this. Actually, when it comes to the runes, I mean, you don't say it's the rune there, the opening there, but on your image, but um, with them, at least what I've heard, I'm not a brilliant one on the runes, but I love them, and I have various kinds of runes now. I don't know how many, maybe 6, 7 different kinds. Some with crystal, some with wood and stone and stuff. Anyways, what I was going to say is that I thought actually once I planted an apple tree and it died. My dad planted it where he lived, where it was like a cold stream or something. Not smart. No, anyways, but it died. Yeah, I'm good. Anyway, so I thought about taking a branch from that tree later on, the tree that I planted and bought, or I got it from him actually. But anyways, and cut it and make those runes out of the tree. And then I heard that you should sing the rune while you make your own runes. I mean, sing the sound, the vibration of the rune to make it. So it's very similar to this about the vibration of the mantras and so on. Have you done your own runes or something, or made them? And of what do you have your own runes? I think you do. I mean, if you're called Sederman Magic, how can you be without runes? I don't know. Actually, I once bought a drum CD that someone made for me, I think, actually, or maybe just, I don't know, but I have it still. And that one was called, like, he called himself Sederman something. Maybe it's you. Then you will know, maybe. Anyways, so you can interrupt here if you want to. I will just continue reading until you do. So if you want to know about yoga, I do this very much for myself now. Or if you want a card or something, you can just ask me a question. I can interrupt myself and pull a card for you. I have some cards here. Pretty many angel cards, actually. I will see if I have some other. Well, I can always stretch to find some other cards if you want. Oh, yeah, ask a question then. Otherwise, you get no card. Okay, I will continue to read while you figure out your question, right? Okay. Shabd Guru, a quantum technology of sound which directly alters our consciousness through the power of Nad. The Shabd Guru is sound current as teacher because it removes the constructions and destructions. No, not destruction, distortions of the ego. Okay. Siri Guru Granth Sahib, an encoded form of the Shab Guru, which allows us to program our mind-body computer to resonate with the infinite. It is quite literally the embodiment of the intrinsic wisdom of the sound current. Wow, I don't even understand this. But the Siri Guru Granth Sahib, you can listen to. You can Google it, and it's read on here on YouTube as well. So, what kind of question do you have then? Although I will read until you. I will take a pause when you ask a question. Okay. The nature of sound. Every element of the universe is in a constant state of vibration manifested to us as light, sound, and energy. The human senses perceive only a fraction of the infinite range of vibration. So it is difficult to comprehend that the word mentioned in the Bible is actually the totality of vibration which underlies and sustains all creation. A person can tune his or her own consciousness into awareness of that totality with the use of a mantra by vibrating in rhythm with a breath to a particular sound that is proportional to the creative sound or sound current One can expand one's sensitivity to the entire spectrum of vibration. It is similar to striking a note on a stringed instrument. In other words, as you vibrate, the universe vibrates with you, says Yogi Bhajan. Cool, this is beautiful. Also, I've got my own both mudras, the hand positions, and mantras. Hey, and mantras. So let's see. What is the next step? I'm on a certain spiritual path now, which is kind of eclectic. Kind of eclectic. Eclectic, I mean. Okay. I wish I didn't even have cards here much, but I will see. Wow. Maybe I have to stretch a little bit more. I will see what I have here. I think I have a blank cards. I can't have them. There's nothing in them. Then it's just me. We'll see if that's them. I can't use them. Then we get into the psychic. A second. Maybe I will have to pause and get some. Actually, I have a few here. Okay, I have some here. I will use this deck for now. I'll just have to. Because the problem with this deck is that it doesn't have any Wheel of Fortune. I don't know. I think actually I've done some magic with it. I've forgotten. I don't know where it is. So it's a full deck, but it lacks one card. But it's like it's a good card to have in it actually, but it's not here. So well, it's a Rider-Waite kind of easy one. So I will use that for now since I don't have anyone else near. So, but if anyone wants me to, I could actually pause for a second and go and find some other decks. They are not far away, but I can't reach them where I sit now. I actually have I will see what I have close by. I have a Medicine Woman, Shaman's Dream, and then I have a lot of angel cards, which I never use. Oh, I have my own deck that I've done when it comes to relationship stuff. And then, there are several what's her name? Doreen Virtue things, and the Goddess Tarot, and some Sun cards. They are actually more like scrying cards, you could say. Yeah, well, I think that's actually when you say yeah, well, it's the same word as the devil in Swedish. Never mind. Okay. Oh, wasn't that yesterday? Oh, it's my twin brothers have it. I know. I thought about you when I saw that it was their birthday. I actually thought about you. Happy birthday. Yeah. Maybe I wrote to them today. I don't even know. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was yesterday. It wasn't for sure. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see now. Okay. Now I will use this deck, although it's missing a card. I'm so sorry about that. Next step. We will just think of the Wheel of Fortune as a good sign that's in there anyway. Okay. I will see what it comes for you here. Next up. Okay, here we got how does it go for you, Nova, about the tarot you were studying for a while? But okay, now I will move into these cards. Oh, wow, this is interesting. I don't say anything more. I'll turn them all upright, although they weren't. But okay. Well, first of all, I see that you protect yourself somehow. It's like this is the Knight of Pentacles, and maybe. Oh crap! I thought it was 6 p.m., not a.m. It was yesterday. But actually, it's it's probably different days where you are at. So yeah. Anyways, never mind. Okay, but anyway, so yeah. First of all, I got 6 cards here for you. Sadaman Magic. And the first, as I said, it's the Knight of Pentacles. And in this deck, the Rider-Waite, the traditional variant, he sits there guarded. I mean, he have a armor on and everything, and holds a seed, you could say, or it's a pentacle, but it's like a seed, and he looks into this field where he wants to plant this seed. But the horse is standing still. He's not moving right now, but you have some plants like but you don't know. Maybe you are trying to envision in this like a crystal ball, like trying to envision what you want to plant into the seed, no, into the earth here, or into the reality, so to speak. Yeah, what you want, what kind of seeds you want to plant, what kind of plants you want to grow, what kind of life you want. Never mind. Anyways, so yeah, so that, but you haven't moved with this yet. You're standing still, kind of. And so their birthday, they become 40 years old now. My twin brothers. So what age are you? By the way, I don't think you were the same age, right? Anyways, so anyway, moving on. Why am I so distracted? I will focus on this now. So then I see someone, this is Seven of Wands. He's like standing on top, not letting others getting down. 39. Oh, 1 year younger than. So anyways, yeah. So I think there must have happened something that make you like a little bit defensive, or you know that people want to not like get to you somehow, but maybe they're jealous of something that you have achieved, or you keep yourself guarded and protected in certain ways, but also it shows that you will manage. They won't reach you kind of in a bad way, those who may want to take your position or something. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. And also the last card is the High Priestess. And right now I think they remind somewhat of each other. I think you need someone who, I mean, you yourself probably tune into stuff, but it's like you need some feminine. I think this is another person to tune in for you or something and help you see beyond the veil. It's like, I'm not seeing that there is a lack of it actually, but it seems like that is very much needed here somehow, and maybe for guidance, I don't know. But also we got Three of Pentacles, which is a good one, and that is like I think that you talked about, or you mentioned about the eclectic thing. I think that it is Three of Pentacles maybe shows this whole not division but diversion, is that I don't know the words in English, you know, that it's okay that it's like spreading a little bit different paths, so to speak. I'm super eclectic, by the way. No, not really. I work with things I do, but yeah, anyway. But and the thing is, I always get back to the core, the Celtic. I always get back there, although I was from the beginning very eclectic in myself, but I can't avoid it. It brings me back, kind of. But anyways, I also see cooperation here. It's a good thing to do, and that I think also is easier than if you are more open-minded to various ways of working or seeing things. But there is also this Two of Pentacles, and now I mentioned all the cards, that shows a little bit of stress. So, or that you juggle many things at the same time and you're good at it, but it can be confusing somewhat, and it can be stressful. So I mean, maybe not too many if you try to go into a more eclectic way of working, or maybe you said that you are kind of eclectic now. Maybe it also shows that you should drop something. I mean, for a while at least, because to hold too many balls in the air is like stressful. So at once, at least. So I think depending on in what direction you are heading, if you want to be less eclectic or more so. But I think it's good to be open-minded and to cooperation with others. It's encouraged here. But as well as then the last card is the High Priestess here that looks beyond the veil. And I think that this, as I see it, this is very important, this female figure here somehow, someone that guides you. And I do not think, although it could be like, obviously it could be a part of yourself, whatever. Yeah. Then what can I say? To me, just it stands out like this is a partnership with some female of sorts, or someone that you can turn to for guidance in this or something. You need that kind of, almost like the Oracle of Delphi or something, that you could um I don't know, it's like that is the grounding to me, that also because it's the Queen of Pentacles here, I feel like this is what makes things solid for you. I mean, it becomes orderly, you could say, in a way. If you find someone you trust that can give you insight into the things you don't see and know, that can, yeah, push you forward one step or so on. Oh gosh, or so on how I talk. But yeah, so what do I see? What do I see? You have a seed, you want to plant it, and you will do well. And but I really see this. I think this cooperation is also with the female here. Do you know what that means? Who that is? But also more people than that. I don't think it's only two, but also to not be too eclectic. I can be way too much. I almost lost my mind or so when I was like not only into all kinds of things that go on all around the globe. I mean, and have not only that, because I'm drawn into all directions, like in all cultures and everything, fascinated, but also in all kinds of times, back in time. Yeah, maybe before, I mean, no, not before, but forward in time. No, that's difficult. But I mean, yeah. And I really realized that when I was working, I mean, in a very focused or daily practice way with various um, what is the word for that, well, traditions, you could say, but also uh, divinities, yeah, if you call it that. And that was super confusing. I realized that I have to totally narrow it down for a while to be here and now, and not only back in time here, because I come from the natives in Sweden. And I was also I've always been drawn into that, wanted to know more about that, my past, so to speak, or my ancestors' past. But but I needed to disconnect from that too. I needed to just be here and now, in the time and in the area and place where I come from, and the nature here and everything. Yeah, interrupt. That's fine. Yeah, you can get a 3-card reading. You don't have to donate. Do you have like a question also, or? And also, I want to know if Saruman magic, do you get something out of this? Do you understand it somehow or so? Um, don't juggle too many things, but be open minded and cooperate with others in a group setting. I think that will be successful. So you have to be somewhat open minded then, and dare to do it. Also, I think you hesitate a bit here with the Knight of Pentacles, but this Seven of Wands totally show that you will deal with any energies or whatever who want to interrupt your success. You will you will do fine. It will be fine. The only thing that is like a, could you say, a warning sign maybe, is this that you take on too much or too many things at once, so you stress yourself out. um, but also, if it reflects on you, this both the Queen of Pentacles, because of she seems to look into this crystal ball, um, and the High Priestess, to me they look similar here very much, and working with the moon and everything. I think when you go deep into those traditional teachings that are useful, but also get knowledge from nature itself, and the movements of the tides and everything, that can indicate you. But I also think, as I said before, I think you need a female here as well. The armor thing you said was really spot on. Actually, it is certain deity's armor. Oh, other than that, it makes sense. Oh, interesting. Wow, cool. Also. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, and obviously you have this connection inward yourself, so you maybe need to take your time to actually um, look inwards and meditate and stuff like that. It could mean that, like to ground yourself also, but you are grounded, it seems. But the high priestess obviously could be yourself as well, tuning in. But yeah, somewhat these popped out to me so much, so I believe that there is a need for a female influence for you also. Not maybe that you need it so much as it will confirm what you already know, in a sense that make you um, clearer or more secure in what decisions you make and so on. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Then she wants Trika. Okay, I will let you think. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't. Yeah, let's see. My general question: will I keep the new friends I have made recently? Also, could my newest inspiration for making new ASMR videos last long enough to make a difference? Okay, what do you mean with difference, though? I think you and your voice make a difference all the time, whatever you do or say. I mean, it's successful no matter what. It's like you're born to do that, right? But okay, okay. Uh, I will just I will see. I will see how many cards come up. I will just let them drop as they may. First, I will focus on this whole your friends. If you will keep them, it's kind of up to you, though. Also, but it seems like I will read all the cards upright because just because. So here we have the Nine of Wands first. You have been hurt before, obviously, by friends, I would assume. And you have this, like these cards now, right? Anyways, you have this bandage and scar on your head here, so you stand there ready to punch back if they would try to hurt you, kind of. So you are defensive as well as the previous, but that was maybe the deity's armor. But anyways, so two nines actually, because then comes Nine of Pentacles and then Two of Pentacles. So what I make out of this is I think you are pretty content, or I mean, this is someone that is very self-sufficient, the Nine of Pentacles, also very secure in themselves and very uh, what is that word, autonomous or something. Autonomous, can maybe say. Anyways, so I feel like you will, if it feels like it stresses you, because I think maybe a few of these will become or feel like it's more like a stress or a struggle rather than fun. Maybe then you will let go of one of those or something. But I also think you will keep some, but you will more so. I mean, there are Nine of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, and Two of Pentacles here. So nines obviously talks about an ending cycle as well. But I don't think that's what's ending. I don't think it's friendships. I think it's the uh, the need for them somewhat. I mean, that that you actually can let go of any, because you hold yourself in such high regard. So if anyone shows something that is off, you will easily not keep them. I think this will be your choice. If so, I don't think they will leave. That's what I get from this. uh to not give up, to remember I can be successful. Yeah, and what do you mean with successful? That's the question. Because I mean, it's not like the only success is having like bunches of viewers, or I mean, it could be a cool thing and a good thing, but maybe you, even if you just connect with three people, you would influence their lives totally, fully, in a very deep way. Do you understand? Yeah, self-fulfill. So this central card, which is very bright, is also maybe an advice for you to actually hold yourself highest, to not I mean, you probably don't need to be defensive. I mean, you have been through some rough stuff and some rough so-called friends. It seems like, since you have you are wounded from before. But I don't think you have to be that defensive. But it's understandable that you are. So you don't have to question them like that. But most of all, hold yourself. I mean, don't adjust to them. Do what pleases you, what you feel good doing, and yeah, all those things. Like, you don't need to try to keep them, so to speak, either, or push them away. I think you will know. But if it stresses you, know that you can also keep people and say no. I mean, you probably know this. It sounds like I talk to a child, and I don't mean it like that. But I mean, you totally won't lose anyone because you choose yourself. This whole saying, be sure that you when you say yes to someone else, that you don't say no to yourself, or the other way around. When you say what how does that become like when you say no to others, you do say yes to yourself many times. And that's the most important thing here, the most important message. But probably there is maybe someone or so on that you will let go of because it becomes too stressful. Yeah. Let's see. My fight against the norm is kind of what is at stake. I am the only man in an open circle I recently joined. I don't feel the need to be a representative of masculine, etc. Oh, interesting. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I will come back to that. Nova Star. What was it more like? Yeah, could it your new inspiration for making new ASMR videos, will it last long enough to make a difference? Well, as I said, it is different what you define it as. You will make a difference even if there is one watching. Do you understand what I'm saying here? But okay, I will pick a card for what you mean with it. What do you mean with success then? And then we get, yeah, it will be totally successful. 3 of Cups here. Very fun, and very many will be so happy you're back, and cheerful with you, and want to lift you up, and also with probably other channels want to join you and do these cooperation things and all kinds of things. This is very, very positive. It couldn't be better. And it will be very fun. So you don't have to put all that pressure on yourself. You are good enough. You are awesome at this. As I said before, you are kind of born to do it. So your voice is fabulous. As you hear, as I did before, I try to whisper sometime, or I can't even whisper. I don't know. I speak softly. I'm not good at that either. So I'm too impatient to do that. So I just speak however. But still, people fall asleep, which is a good thing. So that's why I started. People fell asleep. They didn't. They couldn't cope to listen. Anyway, so I mean, yeah, it will be fabulous, and you will find it so joyful. And keep it. I would suggest that way. Don't put lots of pressure and stress on yourself to live up to someone else's idea of what that perfect ASMR. I love those old ASMR that was more like whisper ones or so on, because nowadays they do all these moving back and forth sounds. I don't know. I that disturbs my mind, but I'm not saying it. I mean, many loves it obviously, so, but not me. So yeah. So anyways, it will be fabulous. Yes, you will succeed, and absolutely as much as you want to, probably as much as before, if not more, so to speak. And keep it, yeah, as a celebration and fun for yourself. Even if you go into darker themes or so on, that's another thing. But if you do that also for fun, so to speak, that it's a good, I mean, yeah, as I said, I repeat myself about this fun thing, but yeah, that you enjoy doing them. Do them for that purpose, and that purpose only. That will spread out that energy, that vibe, as the yogic teachings here talked about. That is the ripples. Yeah, it will be wonderful, and I look forward to it so much. Yeah. Okay, I will move back to Cinema Magic then. I guess the norm is kind of what it is at stake. I'm the only man in an open circle, and I recently. Oh yeah, anything you do is fabulous. Yeah, don't put high pressure. Just being there with your presence and your voice and whatever, people will be so excited and happy about it. So it doesn't really matter what you do, although it's good for you if you find them awesome. I mean, otherwise you will lose interest in yourself. So, okay. My fight against the norm is kind of what it does today. I am the only man. I'm going back to it. I'm sorry, I'm so slow. In an open circle I recently joined, I don't feel the need to be a representative of masculine, etc. Okay. Um, okay. I will pick a card for that or see what the card says just about what you just said. So, do we feel like as if you would need to be that? I mean, do the other ones put that on you? So, what does the card say about this whole thing? This is the Three of Pentacles. I guess I'm not sure whatever and whoever they are, but I think the Three of Pentacles and the open-mindedness or so on and working together in a cooperative manner. I mean, we do all have masculine and feminine traits within, and therefore I also told about those feminines there that it's needed, but it's also needed within you, obviously. You can't work with this without using whatever that is, if you then would even label it as that. But I think this Three of Pentacles again talks about shifting positions, kind of, that you actually can work. I mean, that anyone else could, if they are up to, I don't know who they are and what they are up to, but I mean, if they are willing to, if you talk about that and tell them how you feel, probably they could shift that. um, I mean, we all have it, as I said, inside. So anyone can represent anything. What did they do before you came to the circle? I mean, so obviously you can. I mean, at least as I think, you could. That can be very well. Yeah, that can change. So you can take different positions in different at different times. So it goes through everyone. Like, can be that representative if you let them know how you feel about it, I would assume. I understand that if they would want you to, though, but yeah, so yeah, it's good to work together with those anyways, I'm sure. And I also think that they would be okay with that, is what I take from this card somehow. But I mean, we do have, it's not like we can totally change it, I don't think. I mean, we do have, like, for example, the womb and the energy of that is I mean, it's specifically feminine, and some of the energies of males, they are specifically males. That's how I see it. And that energy is there no matter what. But then again, we can tap into others. Have you seen Alex Gray's? I have this whatever his deck is called, Illuminated something. Don't I have it here? I have it somewhere around, I don't know where. And there you can pick like a card. It's also about the aura or lymph system, or I don't know, anything. But there are not so many cards, but there are also all kinds of, yeah, if you then believe in races, whatever, but show different people from different areas and different, if also one that is female and one that is male. And also when you pull those cards, it's very much about putting yourself in that position. I mean, experience, like, I mean, broaden your experience of who you are and how you can view life. And also, if you're good at this, as you, I'm sure both of you are, to like manifest what you think, let's say, Oh, good. It would be nice to hear you too. I hope you start out. If you haven't already started out a bit though. Yeah, anyway, so um, what was I saying? Yeah, I mean, you will meet different responses, even just thinking that, even just carry that within you. If you would pull one of those cards, let's say, if you would, for example, use a feminine Asian woman, let's say, or whatever, or African, whatever, and that the response from others, because the vibes or the our thoughts, the images we carry within, they also have those ripple effects, and so it's interesting how we can actually view others' perspectives also from within very much. If we can shift that focus, we have. I mean, as I believe, we have changed in lifetimes and whatever. So obviously we can tap into as females our masculine side and other way around. So yeah, I think this won't be a problem though, Sadieman Magic, if you're still here. Maybe if you would be sometimes that representative. I think this whole that it's the what I get from these three of pentacles is like to let that role circulate so that everyone have it sometimes, and then it will be very seldom though you have to, you know. I think that's a good choice, but maybe they will be okay if you don't ever want to even, because but you will have that position for others anyways sometimes, I guess. Before I forget, my new channel name is Novastar 99, what do you say, 9900. And interesting about that also, about the 99 you got here before, isn't it though? What did you get first? 99 and then I don't remember even. But that's interesting. So it was like a confirmation. We are just a bunch of eclectic witches, so there is no pressure. Good. Do I maybe make these conflicts in my own head because traditions I have been into before have these rigid systems? Have you then left those traditions, or what happened? Did they like vanish? Everyone just dropped it or whatever? And we will see. I will see. I will pick another card for that then. Here we have some cards for you. Here is a family structure that's very strong. I don't know if this is a previous structure you have been in then. Personally, I would love that. I mean, oh wow, this is really wow. What kind of cards? I don't know what to say about these even. I will say the cards and then you can interpret them. 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and the High Priestess, Ace of no, Ace of Swords. I mean, what is this? And 10 of Cups and the Strength. This I've never seen cards like this in the same setting, so to speak. So, oh wow, what can I say about that? I will check your new channel also, Novastar. By the way, yeah. And I think people can watch. I mean, those who listen to the whole will see the comments here, but otherwise beneath. I never make the comments like as if you cannot comment. The YouTube does that, or some hacker or whatever. But so I used to put it back into so you can make comments. But then again, if you want others to find that, you can put in a comment, Novastar. All right. So yeah. Gosh, this is so awesome cards. I don't know what to say about this. We are just a bunch of eclectic witches, so there is no pressure. This seems like a family. Do I maybe make the conflict in my own head? Because traditions I've been into before have been these rigid systems. To me, I really don't know what to say about this, because to me this is like a rigid system, but a very good rigid system. So I'm confused now. Oh, that's so beautiful cards. I can't even believe it. And the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords on either side of the High Priestess. I mean, this is so beautiful. I can't even understand whatever this is. And then the 10 of cups. So this is that kind of envelopes those. I mean, at the center here is the high priestess, and then the ace of cups and ace of swords of each on each side, and then on each side of those is the 10 of pentacles and 10 of cups. How can it even be happier? This is such a brilliant thing. But I think the central person here is very, very important, since it came up in the previous cards as well. I mean, it doesn't have to be a person then, but someone who is able to very deeply tune in, and in a selfless way also, not like selfless as giving themselves up to others, but like being able to not have ego projections involved in what they're doing. But then also at the last card there is the strength, the you know, that the spirit should guide the ego, so to speak, the lion and the guide here, to find your fullest strength. But to me, I mean, personally, I want the family system. I want this, not the rigid, but the, I don't want it to be his flaky word. I really don't want. I mean, I want it to be so solid as it is. Maybe it isn't even in families, but Nova Star. Sorry, that's my chat name. Channel is just Nova Star, all caps. Okay, okay, good. All right, that was easier. Yeah. And I think for you, Nova Star, if you like come back, and I think it's more like if people get like addicted, you know, to certain voices, I get anyway. So if it goes a long time in between, maybe they find another drug to get addicted to. So I think without pressure, just being there, I think just doing whatever that they can pick your voice up again and again. Like, yeah, I'm well. So, but anyways, so, oh my, this Sadema magic. I have no clue what to do with this. I thought it would be a response to if it's in your mind or not. I mean, how eclectic are you, or how vague, so to speak, are you? I don't think that is a suggestion here, because family structures, let's say, because I see this here in the 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups. Those are, even when you almost dislike each other, whatnot, they are very, very solid. I mean, even in the spiritual realm, people who maybe not hated each other, but I mean, they will help your ancestors or so on. They will, uh, yeah, they will guard. I mean, yeah, they will be on your side. So I think what I see here is very much a solid, very, very, you know, this whole, I don't know if this is like yeah, you say witches here, yeah. So you know, in perfect love and perfect trust. I think that was where I was going astray. Perfect love was not as hard, but some people says that's equal to trust, you know. But trust was not my I didn't know even how to trust actually previously. So that was so far I couldn't even almost understand what that meant. It was so far away from me. Although I have been very open and honest like that, but still, I think that is very, very important. And in a more solid, it doesn't, obviously not rigid. That's not a good thing. But where you can actually trust with your full self, trust the other person, people in the circle, in the coven or so. That's really, really important for it to have the power it can have, I think. This whole strength card here at the end, and also this eternity sign that you are like woven together for eternal. I mean, yeah, eternally, in a good way. I mean, not in a forced way though. But this is, to me, I don't even understand what to do with this. Do you understand this? Sailor Man magic. It's like looks. I don't understand those words. Is that like Latin? Anyways, it's fabulous, fabulous cards. So maybe you feel like this, but then in an open, cheerful way. It's very, very brilliant, though. Maybe you feel that there is a central figure also that you can like gather around somewhat, just to, I don't know, that used to be the thing in, oh, eternal enlightening. Yeah, yeah. That used to be the thing in families as well. And most of the time, a feminine figure, actually, motherly figure, or something. And in a spiritual sense, I guess that also is common, or it's a good practice, I think, also to have someone. I mean, this high priestess messages comes through her, but there is also very much temptations for this one, obviously, because yeah, to be neutral somewhat in conflicts or whatever. This whole balance between the feminine and the masculine, obviously, also with the Ace of Cups and Ace of Swords here. It's just so beautiful. I can't let go of these cards now. Who are you and what is this? This is fabulous. Yeah, wow. What do you think about this, though? I mean, do you think this represents the freedom you feel now compared to the rigid systems, or what? Because maybe you are this high priestess at the center, and that you can choose what kind of energy you tune into, the masculine or feminine, the sword or the. Yes, there is, of course, a founder. She's actually a high priestess, but she does not make claim to their perceived role either. Yeah, kind of like me with the masculine thing when I think about it. Okay, good. Yeah, yeah, because that seems very odd also to be rigid about those kinds of things. Although as I said, and maybe I'm wrong in that, because I know there are others who think differently, but I have a firm belief that it's very specific what we have. I mean, what we come with, and it's meant to be. It's not that whomever feel in any other way have all the rights to do so. I mean, if you feel like, for example, trans persons or whatever, that's like anyone's. I don't even have anything or any like anything to say about that, but what I mean is that I still think like the physical represents also the energetical somewhat, that we are made in a certain way to have a certain vibration. I also believe in like my ancestry, and the connection to the native ancestors, but also they were very witchy on my mom's side, which is not from the natives, as far as I know. But also those things, I feel like I have the streams from those energies as it is in my physical body also. I think that actually make me able to contain certain, oh, what can you say? I will say like vibrations, that's the easiest word. So so I believe that there is a difference. I don't think that it is the same, that it can be any whatever. Like, I do think that yeah, that it's very powerful to have a womb, for example, as a creatrix. And yeah, in a sense more so. But then again, it's not either or. It's like it's the combination of forces, or what is the word for that then? It's not like opposites, it's complementary. So it links together. It's not that one sex could be without the other, really. I mean, and also within we all have all these various, in various ways. I mean, some have some qualities stronger than others, and so on and so forth. Obviously, I mean, I said so obvious things here, but these cards, I mean, they still strike me so much. Like, I have never seen that. I need to take a picture of them, because that was like totally fabulous. Maybe I used this in some video. I must just take a picture of them. And to that question and all. So as far as these cards go, I don't think there could be any problems. I mean, this seems so harmonious, and yeah. My mundane self is pretty manly, I guess, but my witchy self is very feminine based. Yeah, all spiritual selves, so to speak, is very feminine, and all mundane is very more masculine, I guess. Don't you think? So yeah, I understand that, and that's a very positive one. I mean, then maybe you actually are in this in this with these cards. Maybe you are the high priestess there at the center, actually balancing this cup and this sword, and fertilizing the yeah life, yeah, in spiritual sense as well, because these are so strong. The sword and the cup, it's like Excalibur and you know, the Grail beside you. You hold one on one side and one on the other side. I think you are more maybe the center than you think, although you're just recently, I understood, uh, became part of this. Yeah. And even if you have a feminine, I mean, if that is like what you more so tune into as a witch, obviously, I think that must be the thing. Must be must be the case for everyone. I assume. I mean, if you channel Cernunnos, maybe not so. But anyways, not exactly then. But anyone who channel any god, let's say, yeah, many anyway. But you know, I believe that your what was I going to say now? I don't even know. But there is a good balance here, anyways. Also with this lion and the, because that is the ego in the strength card, representing the all our lower, so to say, lust or desires and whatnot, and defensive, all kinds of things. But the spiritual self here is obviously feminine in the tarot, and also in the major arcana, it becomes more and more feminine. You know. And the world is feminine usually, in many of the old ones anyways. So so it's about development, inner awakening, yeah, enlightenment, as you said, rather than actually men women thing. But being guided by this feminine in ourselves is like important to actually control and care for, even this lion that is us, that is within us. Yeah. To Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And it seems awesome. I mean, yeah, wow. Could you be my high priestess, please? A priest. I also think, actually, oh gosh, now I come into areas where I shouldn't even say anything. The thing is, when I talk about things I should shut up about, I usually do it after I've been online for a long time, so no one even listens. That's good. But one thing I've thought about when it comes to masculine feminine things, and also specifically when it comes to maybe transgender stuff like that, is I've just thought about it. Maybe that's really wrong, but why is it that it is like um it is like as if you say, if there is a trans woman, she must have dresses and long nails, hair, and I mean, high heels stuff. I mean, it is like saying that that is what a woman is, while there is bunches of women that consider themselves also as women, who would not like to even use makeup or whatever. So it's very strange. I mean, somehow to me, is that like a need? I mean, how is that not? How is that not more of a cultural thing than a gender thing, really. Is gender rather cultural? I don't know, but see, I mean, even in the other way around, if we say there was a uh, um, uh, this is not the same topic, I know, but I just get into it because it have been in my mind a bit. You know, if there is a trans man then who just want to go in dresses and high heels and still, let's say, have been so to speak a woman and then a man, but still want to use makeup, but would that like be a clash? Would, let's say, doctors not agree to that? I don't know, it just seems weird to me when it's very focused on those outer attributes. How could not a man be allowed to have that without being do you understand what I'm saying here? I just think that it's so much a cultural idea rather than about gender itself, because there are so many. I mean, yeah, I don't think it have to be. Well, never mind what I just said. I don't think I express it well. So yeah, but those cards anyways were fantastic. So I don't think you have anything to worry about, and maybe you, though, have such a strong contact with your essence as a high priestess, so you are very central to this group rather more so than you think. Also, maybe your it will influence it to become more not rigid but more hmm, yeah, more like a family. I mean, solid as as such. Yeah, I totally understand. Yes, it is cultural social construct. I feel good now. How good you feel good now? Oh, sorry, talked so close to the mic. Okay, yeah. So, well, yeah. So, I wonder though if you are not the central one there. I think so. I will ask if that's the case. Yeah, because I feel like that energy when you mentioned this other, yeah, actually high priestess. I mean, we don't have to claim any role. It's just we just go in and out of those. But and it actually means just that she teaches. So, but I just read today also in this yogic text. It says, what did it say? I must read it. Actually, it was like teach those who teach. Give you experiences, and no, it was like something like this: those who teach give experiences, and those who preach give philosophy. I thought that was a good one. So it goes well with this as well. But yeah. I will check that. Hope I don't make you feel bad now. Then. Oh, now I do though, because then it's 10 of Swords. This is like, what is this? This is, this is maybe the answer to the previous thing about your own thoughts. It's like as you think others would see you. I think of that, or maybe it's something have happened before, like these. Someone who stabbed you in the back, or that others would not accept you in the same way as they would any other one, whether they were female or not, or accept your insights or your intuition or your channeling or whatever, that they would see you differently because you're a man. And I don't think so, because this is like, the 10 is always new start. It's the end of this situation, really, where you have to identify so much with that, or in that setting, you don't have to identify uh, with those traits that you use in like mundane life. And they understand that, I'm sure, and that these are just like thoughts. Those 10 swords, your thoughts of not being fully accepted that way. But I think you are like the high priestess. Maybe you also take, yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah, I think this is the case also. Maybe, I'm not sure, but that you maybe doubt your own authority as such. I mean, I said it already, but I think maybe you think it would have to be like, I mean, these are your own thoughts rather than the other people's thoughts, that it would have to be like a feminine one, but it's rather, as I also said to begin with, but I mean, it's rather the feminine qualities. And yeah. So I think you can hold that position as well as anyone else, for sure. Those cards were so awesome. And you asked before if this was just your worries or thoughts, and yeah, I think the Ten of Swords was an answer to that. You kind of, you question yourself or how others would view you. That's the only problem there is. I don't see a problem in the other cards. No. So now I don't feel like reading any more of the yogic things. Maybe I will get back to that another day. I will just see if there was. It's good if I come through one chapter. I just came to the nature of sound. No, I will do the rest. I will read a little bit more. I will just read this page. You don't have to hang around if you don't want to, but we live in a sea of energy. Energy vibrates. This is actually an answer to you as well. You are this energy vibrating and changing. And of course, I mean, if you think about yin and yang also, and that, of course, a man can have, also when you talk about women and men, can have more, seemingly at least, feminine traits or qualities, let's say, if you call it that, than another feminine even. And it doesn't mean that men even have to become or be feminine for that reason, but I mean, it differs what vibe anyone have, and that's a good thing. Yeah, it's not that anyone have to adjust to anything other than being themselves as fully as they feel like or want to. That's what I think. But okay, but we are just energy, so whatever. Everything in the manifest creation is vibrating. Even seemingly solid, inanimate objects are constantly vibrating, simply vibrating at a slower or lower frequency than animate objects. Some vibrations are audible, sounds we can hear with our ears. Actually, also that I read the other day. Where was it, or what was it I was watching? It was like some science stuff. I don't remember even, but women, yeah, it was like archaeological. They have found, it was on what was it called, um Lady Sapiens. It was called, the program. It was like about our ancestors, long ago, and how they were, obviously they were, since I will read this soon, but it was about how they previously, when only men were those who check those old graves, were archaeologists and so on. They considered every hunter thing grave they found, like, this must be a man. Because then at the 1800s or whatever, everything, many things were um, ruled by men. So they consider that have been the case in all the traditions, societies far back, and so on. And then they found that these were often very skilled warriors or hunters or so on, that were females as well in the group. And they saw that one thing, they couldn't take DNA from these super old, far back in time, like Stone Age, whatever. I don't even know what age. I don't remember numbers well. Anyway, so they could see something in the inner ear that was different in males and females. I mean, the structure of the inner ear. And females can hear higher frequencies than males can. And so that's one of those things that are just different. And you can even see that in if you check far back in time. And also I think that also connects with frequencies in the spiritual realm. I mean, like hearing, so to speak, quote unquote, ancestors. So let's see. What happened before was basically I was becoming too much of an influence, that I became the target of power struggles and psychic attacks. Oh, I understand. I see. People was trying to undermine my views, etc. Oh, so sorry to hear. Yeah, but I don't see that now. I see totally the opposite. What you were having, these 7 of Wands. You are untouchable. No one can get to you. You have so much insight and knowledge and all that. So no problems. Yeah, it will be awesome though if you let these abilities and these. I think you must have had this deep knowledge for lifetimes, and so you're kind of meant to be the sort of a mother, let's say, in a group, and then that would, you are fabulous at it, and you balance it very, very well. Those sides, so to speak, perfectly. I couldn't think of anything better than the cards you got. So, but I understand the hesitation, considering what you write now. So, yeah. But and also I think that although all females, let's say now physically, but when it comes to that, when it comes to energetically, it also is about opening up and being, receptive. And there could be males who would not have those more curled, like inner ear thing, that would still pick up higher vibes than certain females because they just don't allow themselves to pick them up. I have an aunt. She's sadly, probably, or sadly, it's time when it's time, but she may not be with us for long. She's quite sick now and old. But I wish to talk to her before. I wish so much to do that. She's actually my neighbor, but still, she's. If I have a little bit of a cold or so, I don't want to visit her. But what was I going to say? Yeah, she's super psychic, and I mean, me being also super psychic, I've seen that she knew a lot of things also as a kid, but she turned it off because of all these Christian teachings and stuff. And I don't think she ever opened up to it. So even if she had the physical ability, and even if also with the manifestation power of the womb, let's say, and so on, it doesn't really tell that we use those qualities. It's like all the potential we have, all of us in ourselves. Then a man or a male can obviously develop that far more so than many females would do. So is what I think. Yeah. And wow, I'm so fascinated. I want to know more about what you do. Gosh, what is this? What? What? I'm so curious now. I will just read a few more things here. Hmm. Yeah, the ears. Thoughts are silent sounds, electric magnetic vibrations. The higher the frequency, the less dense and more etheric the quality of the vibration we hear and speak, the more our own vibrational frequency is raised. Raising our own vibration brings us closer to experiencing and merging with the highest vibration of all, God, or whatever you would call it, goddess, the, I don't know, whatever, Tao, the original creativity of all the universe. The entire universe was built on sound or vibration, on vibration. Putting it poetically, God spoke and the world came into being. But I would say the goddess then, but it seems very much more likely. Anyway, never mind that. More precisely, I read it as it says here, though. God vibrated, and all the universe and worlds, solar systems, oceans, land, and sky, and the myriad of beings that inhabit them appeared. There is a vibratory? No, it sounded sexual, I'm sorry. But frequency that corresponds to everything in the universe. Vibratory, so you say. By vibrating a particular combination of sounds, you tune into various levels of intelligence or consciousnesses. Yeah, for sure. Situations, people, and events respond to the signals you send out. The vibratory frequency of a mantra draws to you whatever you are vibrating. Yeah, you know this so very much. I'm so curious now also about the whomever this where you have this armor from and whatnot. So shall I continue, or do you want to pull more cards? I think you will more become so, or if you're not, you will probably become the center of this group or a group. Yeah, in a spiritual sort of, yeah, coven or something. And probably maybe that one that you're in now, and let go of those old whatever have happened. That's not, you are not where you are at then. You have learned and you have become stronger in your faith and understanding of yourself also, so you won't be touched even if someone would try. There would be some people who would try, because in that Seven of Wands it shows like those six, but they are so far beneath you, so they can't even if they do their worst, so to say, there is no way they can touch you. So yeah, I was talking about this Hecate's sacred armor, by the way. Wow, Hecate, you say, wow, fascinating. Oh, how fascinating. Oh, this is so cool. Yeah. Oh, I love to hear so much more about this. And you know, about being eclectic, I I do all the things. When I was in a coven, in another coven than like the minor ones that we have now, but in a more structured one, to begin with. And I'm so happy and blessed, but I didn't understand. I mean, I'm so happy that I got to do that, but I was super lost in many ways at the time. But anyway, so also when I left, I was super stressed. I was into all kinds of food problems, and yeah, I didn't feel good. I was struggling with a lot of things that whatever had happened, and try to work through that and whatnot. And to feel good, I just had to stop with everything and went to some zazen or Zen Buddhist teaching, where they taught you to sit in zazen. And I did morning and evening, 20 minutes, I think it was, every day. And I was so solid. I was looking into a blank wall with my eyes half open and counting, out breaths to 10 or something, or 20. Um, and doing that really, and just letting all those images and everything just float by and not caring about them, that was such a wonderful thing. And I just now recently learned that in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, I think it's called, and that to practice these kinds of things teach you very much how to die, how to not be sidetracked or scared, to let go. I mean, but also witchy things. I mean, when we learn how to um, create our reality, really, or change it also in dreams, and that was one of the first things I discovered. I had never heard about many things. I'm so happy. The patience she had, my high priestess, is beyond I don't understand. But anyways, with me, wow, I'm so thankful. Anyways, the one of the things that I discovered from the beginning was this lucid dreaming, as it's called, but I had no clue that existed or what it was. I just recalled suddenly that I could steer my dreams when I was sleeping. And so anyway, so developing these things, the witchy things, is also a way to know actually how to die, how to do that consciously, because we know how to move through certain I mean, I won't go into that. I don't know it too well, but I love it. And I also see how that, when I know we work with the medicine wheel as well in the Munaki or the shaman teachings from them. I always was a shaman, but I never was connected to any tradition, and that was what I was seeking. I knew I had those gifts, and I didn't know exactly how to work with them, and that's how I found the witchy stuff, so to speak, and we can. But anyways. You've heard this before, I'm sure. But anyway, so what was I saying now? Yeah, I don't know what it was. Yeah, I see how now when I do the medicine wheel, where you work in different areas, so to speak, I see how I was doing the medicine wheel without knowing it was, when I needed that sazen, just being blank and not creative, and just I saw, and I did that for at least a half year or maybe longer every day, and I became so solid in my core, and I couldn't be moved, and I didn't. I thought I had to choose in between these kind of things, talking about the eclectic, but now I see that it's the same thing from different views or different words sometimes even. I feel like I am slowly creating my own personal tradition. Yeah, I want to be in your tradition. Please let me be a member of your family. It seems awesome. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic. And you will do well because you have what it takes to be that person. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to. So, how do I join? Mhm. Anyway, so yeah, I miss that. I miss that. And I'm also what I miss actually, I have certain very many interested around, and I teach in some ways, but somehow, and I think it's perfect as it is. Creed, the creed is I fuck normal. I want magic. Yeah, that's my saying too. Fuck normal. I want magic. Yeah. Why would you want anything? I mean, uh, yeah, beige like or something. No. Yeah. So and yeah. So the ones that I come in touch with now, they may not be, I have always been passionate in these things, even as a kid, even when I didn't know what anything was. I knew that this was my path. I knew it as a kid, although I didn't have the words for it. So when I was older, now I call it like shaman, but it's the same to me, kind of. It's different, but it's kind of the same, similar. Um, when I learned what it was, I knew that I always was it, if you understand. Uh, so it's so much at the core of whatever I do and whatever I even have done, I feel. And not whatever. I've been very, maybe the addictions and stuff, but it's all a path of learning, though, And yeah, I just, um, I just feel like maybe I don't have a core people around me that have that focus or interest as I have. Absolutely. For example, lately I've been reading about Shinto Japanese folklore. Yeah. And now I also probably, hopefully, will learn this fabulous massage that is traditional Japanese massage, I think it's called, or sometimes called energy massage. The whole, not only the back, where they push quickly on various acupuncture points like pressure, and they clap and do different things, and oh, it's so fabulous. I've gotten it many times, and the one who gave it to me, she's going to teach it online. She lives far from here now, but yeah, and wow. But all these traditions, they have a lot of similar wisdom. And also when it comes to the chakras, for example, when it comes to the yogic, I love the Peruvian, the Andinian, no, but their teachings in the from there, where they talk about the mas navis, like eyes, where you can perceive or see with the chakras, which you can, obviously. When I tune into someone, I can see through them, so to speak, and feel the others' chakras. And I think that's more accurate. So even if I take on different things like now yoga and so on, and that kind of those kinds of words they use and whatnot, you start to see through the layers, and see that they try to be that finger pointing at the moon. They try to describe something that is very hard to put into words still, even if there are some words that are more fitting than others. But well, we have to find what it's for us, as you say, and it's constantly evolving, and and that would be that I love with witchcraft also, or Wicca, that it's alive, that it's not that is not set that it have to be like this. And for anyone, we can make our own experiences and see what works well. And so it's also individual, unique for any individual, even if we can follow similar paths. And that's so beautiful, I feel. Yeah. Oh wow, there is so much. But as I said, I would love to find others that are maybe as passionate as me. I find others all the time, others that are very interested, but to be dedicated, to make it almost like, I mean, it's my life purpose, I feel. And not everyone feel like that. They may find that it's fun as some extra thing, but they focus on other things. Or and also when it comes to many people, I don't know how it's for you, but many people also are intrigued or drawn to like ghosts, or I mean, I've always been drawn to anything occult when I was younger, but those who uh, I'm not saying that's wrong, but it's just like I don't know, when you try to make things spooky, that's what I mean. When people are like, "Whoa, what is that? Oh, how strange!" Blah, 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 like that makes me like very uninterested, because to me it's nothing strange about it. It's just very, very natural and normal, and very much easier to communicate with the spirit world than people generally. So and so that is also one thing that I back away from most of the time when I meet people who are interested, but more of the wow effect in a kind of what can I say, um, I don't know, in a detached manner. I can't say. To me, it's like also. To me, it's also about uh, you know, what is the word? I try to find the English words all the time. Um, yeah, it's holiness is a strange word, but it's about that. To me, that is what it is. The connection to these kinds of uh, could you say it, awarenesses? No, but I don't know. Uh, it's like I honor them. I really. It's not like yeah. I don't know what to say. Yeah, same here. The occult world is my second home. Yeah, but those. I mean, I also understand the whole curiousness in all directions, and as well as in maybe so-called darker. I mean, I love to stretch limits and see what's beyond the beyond, if possible. I always was like that, and I've been less so, as I talked about before. Since I was all over the place, I needed to narrow it down because my mind couldn't, my whole system couldn't hold all that all the time. So I had to narrow it down. But I mean, I can totally understand. It's just like my curiosity is not on that level anymore. It's like very much about I posted something like that on Facebook recently about some memory that came up about who said that, Einstein, I think, but not to try to be a person of what was it, success, but rather a person of value, you know. And that is maybe for Nova Star as well. She won't listen to this, but yeah. So I think that's my aim. And but also meanwhile, I feel like whomever wants to pick up whatever for what I have found and been given, I am happy to share it. But then again, yeah, I could really long for more advanced ones also, in maybe group setting. Someone once said, "You are among the ones who walk between worlds." That resonated with me. Yeah, and that is one thing. Also, when it comes to self-esteem, I've always had a strong self-esteem since I was, also as far as I can remember, since I was a kid. And but self-confidence not so strong many times, very very like weak also in certain areas. And maybe still, I don't think still, because I don't care too much about that. I don't think I put so much emphasis on it anymore. But anyways, the self-esteem, many people previously, I recall, didn't understand that how I could be so solid, because I was, even as a kid, I confronted or I challenged those who were even grown-ups or whatever, because I was like, I had this inside connectedness that was like, I knew it, in my core what was right, and I wouldn't compromise it, you know. And that really bugged people around me. So I was so used to conflict all the time. But then again, I still knew. So and that have always been the same. So I never actually wavered when it came to that, because I also felt always that other side, so to speak, the invisible, the home, let's say, or whatever, they were always there with me. I wasn't too aware of it in words, like as I said, but I knew that I belonged somewhere else, and I knew that they had my back, so to speak. And and so, but I've seen how surprising that have been to others, especially people who value like outer status or those kinds of things, or very much like I see that struggle so many times with others. And they lack so much of all. I mean, because they don't have that understanding or connection to something else, so to speak, you know. And then the only thing that is that can be kind of supportive, I guess this is the case anyways, the only thing that can be supportive of them is that if they are approved of by their fellow beings around them, if someone say that their body is beautiful, or if they or show it, or those who there are so many who really struggle all the time to live up to some sort of ideal that other people would approve of, or that would be like the final that they would come to a final point where, yeah, you didn't say anything more, but yeah, where they are accepted fully, but they never get there, and they constantly, I mean, they can be good, however good at anything. I met so many competent people that do things far better in all kinds of very various ways than and I don't even understand it, but they have no self-esteem at all. They are doubting themselves so much. I think this is very common, even that those who are the very best, so to speak, in very various, I don't know, sports or whatever, they are really they many times see their value only connected to their achievement, whatever it is, and that's so, it must be super stressful, and it's so it's on such a surface level. I don't even understand how people can live that way. So yeah, so we who connect with those in between the worlds, who walk between the worlds, yeah, um, we are different. Yeah, and I see the surprise in those others when they can't kind of break me, where they push me, and I'm like those kind of things where you I don't know if that's where you live, but those who stand outside of I don't know, ice creams places, when you push it down, it just jumps back up. That's like how my nature is. It's nothing I even have to strive for. It does it by itself. It's like, yeah. And nowadays I only also know it beforehand. If I break somehow, or if something happened, I know that this will make me so much stronger. This whole thing, when a bone break, that place cannot be broken again, almost, because it's so strong. And so I constantly, I understand that even meanwhile now, which is good, better than being stressed meanwhile. But yeah, but what I mean to say is that sometimes I have not thought that I belong in this world with others, and didn't understand the whole purpose, sort of, in that sense. But I never doubted that I was loved or value my own value. I just thought that I maybe want to go back where I belong, yeah, sort of. Then, but yeah, I will read a little bit more here because it's in the same page. I will just read that page through. Where was I now? Yeah, chanting mantras. I will just read this little thing, then I will be on the next page, so I will leave that. Chanting mantras, either silently or out loud, is a conscious method of controlling and directing the mind. Happiness, sorrow, joy, and regret are vibratory frequencies in the mind. Call them attitudes or beliefs, but fundamentally they are vibratory frequencies or thought waves. Yeah, they determine the kind of program our mind plays. When you realize that, that's fun then. The scenario we choose becomes our vibration, defines how we feel and what we project to others. We can exercise our right to choose at any time. Wow, isn't this cool, right? Oh, yeah, I want to be a part of that family as well. We are creating with every word we speak and even with every word we think. When we chant a mantra, we are choosing to invoke the positive power contained in those particular syllables. Yeah. Whether it's for prosperity, peace of mind, increasing intuition, or any other multitude of possible benefits inherent in mantras. Simply by chanting them, we are setting vibrations into motion that shall have an effect. Isn't this very much witchcraft, though? It doesn't actually matter if we understand the meaning of the sound or not. Actually, I think it's better when it comes to, oh, sweetheart, thank you. Yeah, I also think that it doesn't matter really if you know. I mean, yeah, they said it doesn't matter, but I think mantra somehow is also to just silence this negative chatter, that so we can jump in between the word, like so we can rest from our own thought process that keeps us trapped in the matrix kind of thing, in our own matrix that we made. And so I think it's even better if we don't understand them sometimes, just because it easier gets us out of the thinking mind. Yeah, it's so much interesting. I don't know how not anyone is, or everyone is super fascinated by this. Yeah, but what shall I do now then? Shall I continue to read for you, or shall we go? If you don't, if you want to say something or speak about something, you can. Or maybe I should read a little bit more then, right? Or no? But as I said, it's fun when I have realized that yeah, I don't agree with everything that is said in the yogic tradition, and I don't understand even most of it. But the same goes for many things. But I can find those gems, those pearls, those um, similarities also with my own experience. I question everything. I've been that always also. I love that. Labels are man-made, yeah. If we get too hung up on what to call things are called, we get trapped in a new matrix. Yes, that's the problem. So, and therefore I kind of love to stretch and dive into various even cultural different things like yoga, for example, um, and and learn more about it. But it doesn't mean that I buy into it. I know that these also come from both a cultural tradition and ideas that are inwoven into it that may not be correct at all. And also, even that, when you look at anyone, as I talked about, I think before, if someone have a certain status, people may listen to them, but it doesn't mean that they are more right. So, so, and those things that are kept, usually when they are kept like in 5,000 years, they may have. Oh, I may need to cough. I need to pause for a second. They may have like more of a solid truth to them, maybe. But I mean, I still question it. It's not that I buy into it. So I'm getting into Tai Chi lately. Moving energy feels like witchcraft as well. Yeah, that's what it is. All of these working with energy is what it is. And your mind and the rest of the. I mean, that's where I don't see the difference really when it comes to shamanism and. But I know the word shaman is questionable to some, but my guides feel that it's okay. I use it, so I think it's worse if you use that and not and are not. Then maybe they will poke at you somewhat. I think because it's like it's an honor in itself. But anyway, so yeah, I think. Since you work with the energies of nature as well, and not only energies but actually physical objects and whatever, as in witchcraft, I don't see really. But that goes along with everything I do. Ayurveda, I mean, as I said, at the, let's say, mystical then, or esoteric or whatever, the energy level of things, then it's just words that differs, actually. Yeah. And as you say, we can't get stuck in that. But yeah, anything we do, and I think also we know by ourselves what our next step will be. Since you asked the cards though, but the cards just mirrors what you need to then. But the shamanic belt stretches through a lot of cultures, yeah, continents and time periods. Yeah, everyone comes from a shamanic, let's say, but just the word shaman is like what people somehow, some people get hung up on also, that is just Siberian, I don't know, something. But yeah, everyone. And that was what I was drawn to also from the beginning. Not only that I stem from the natives in Sweden, but yeah, a curiosity on my ancestry, and that, but also I was drawn to Christian, and I'm connected to that too still, but it was like so far away and so disconnected from the earth and everything like that. So I really felt a need to connect to those, the divine in the physical as well, and so on, inherent in all. But then my curiosity and I guess my passion was triggered when I realized that that's so common all over the globe. Those shamanic traditions, they are almost, maybe not exact the same, but I mean they are so similar, and that comes from also an experimental, no, experiential, I mean, also experimental maybe, but yeah, it comes from experience of the following nature, learning from experience what is true. It's not like, oh, this book says that or this, or and that, I felt that this is at the core of what I need to want to learn and want to savor, and yeah, and still, yeah, it's so much with that. Yeah. Sometimes I use words because they sound good. I mean, they sound sweet in the mouth, like savor. I don't even know what it means. I don't mean savvy, or, I mean, but I don't even know actually what it means. But when I speak English, I kind of put words in there. I have no clue. Sometimes just that, okay, this sounds like a sweet word. I hope it made sense. So yeah. But yeah, you probably told me this before, but are you of Sami? Yeah, yes, I am. My dad is half Sami, but that's the thing. Just recently, I talked with someone who uh, is a, yeah, well, actually are active in these whatever native communities all over the world and whatnot. And she, lovely one, she also said that I would find myself these traditional clothes, like, and I thought, well, I've never even considered it, because I never considered that I mean, there are certain traditions in from the summit in certain areas, or families that have certain clothes and so on and whatnot. And I felt that it would be like, uh, I thought I would not mock them, but I mean another word. I mean, like, I felt that it's as if I would, yeah, well, someone's toes would be hurt, sort of, or that someone would be feel offended, like, yeah, if I would. I never thought about it actually, but yeah, and then she also, I think she mentioned it, or if I thought it just, but if I thought about the native of America, for example, if their if my grandma then is. Uh, wait a second. Is she? Yeah, she is native. Yeah, and I mean full native, so to speak. But there is no grades like that. But anyways, so if I would hear that about a native in America, let's saying, "Oh, I can't use those traditional clothes because it was just my grandma who was like," I would find it really weird. I would think like, well, of course you can. Why can you not? Like, but for myself, and there is so much history here that is lost and gone. So Let's see now. Yeah, and I really don't like that still. I mean, people talk about that a lot now. I see that now and then and here and there about their cultural appropriate. I have like those dream catchers even in my ears right now. And I'm not from the. Actually, I also, but first one who taught, no, not first one, but one who taught me was a Native American, I mean, from Canada, yeah, who taught me about these sort of shamanic, yeah, those practices. And and two, I think it was mainly not mainly, but it was part of that. I also stem from the Sami people. I think that was part of it, but also that I so clearly have these abilities and all that. So the connections is there, and I feel like usually it's how should I express this in a good way? Well, I'll express it in any kind of way, but if we call it like, could you call it non-natives? Everyone is native far back, but those who are more like, is that a word, Western? I don't know. Anyways, those are the ones that are more particular about that most of the time, I feel. I mean, I hear so many, no, not many, but I've stumbled across some videos and whatnot where they are like, oh, those people who use, I don't know, let's say dream catchers or sage. I mean, there is certain things that are good, I think, to think about, because it would influence the whole. If all people would use a certain plant, whatever, it would disturb the balance or so on, or it will vanish or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, in that case, I understand it. Yeah, yeah, those were too white. Those people. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, yeah. But then everyone is native, though. Even those, even whomever. That's like, yeah, you don't have to go far back to understand that. But in some way or another, yeah. But and have this shamanic ancestry as well. So, but yeah, I still I don't really understand this whole fixation on that. But maybe it's just that I do not understand. But I don't. I use any culture's things if I want to. I mean, we belong to it all. We are connected, as the song that I mentioned before. I mean, you maybe didn't hear it. I will see if I still have it up. No, I maybe didn't. I don't know if this is a good example. It's not. But I will put it again because it was some reason I put it there. We are still connected. I'm gonna get myself connected, aren't we? Though, yeah. So, yeah. I've said so many things now that people could be angry about. Why do I even do that? Why do I do that to myself? I also wanted to have something up. It was like a saying. I thought this would be so fun to keep it as a. I just have nothing up here, but as well, what do you say? Whatever when you see the video audio. It said, what was it now? And I thought this would not be a good thing to have there, and therefore I really wanted it. It was like, oh, I don't mind being your villain. To me, you are a clown. It was like something like that, and I just felt like, no, maybe I should not. What if I should not provoke intentionally? Yeah, I just find it somewhat fun sometimes. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Anyways, but where was we? Where were we? Yeah. So, but the problem with the Sami, I have a Sami flag here, for example. I love it. I feel connected to it. But then again, the Swedish laws also have really caused a lot of struggles, because they made this whole. I don't know what those who are active in the traditional living as a Sami people. I was brought up like mostly by my dad in that sense, outdoors. We were always out fishing out. I mean, it was like living in nature. I was brought up in the woods, like, or out on the ice, or out on the sea, or like not sea. Yeah, that's what it's called, not the ocean. Yeah, but it was like totally. It was all the time. We were never indoors almost. So, and I'm happy because of that. I feel like that is like when I was a kid. Also, I fell asleep like on a blanket when they were picking berries or whatever. I was like always. I felt Mother Nature holding me always, as she still does. So so I'm happy he had it. He has it in his veins. He can hardly be indoors still, I think. And but then again, there have been very many problems because the um yeah, the law says that like a village can have, so is like money almost, like when they have reindeer, as my grandma's parents also had. Um, that's like their riches, and to the struggles and the greediness, I would assume, and bullying I've heard about, and I've seen documentaries about this also, that have happened in those villages because of these not very smart rules. I don't know what would be how it could be done in a different way, though. I mean, those who live in that culture and that tradition like such, they need to um, yeah, they need to have some ideas about that themselves, like. But still, it's like it's made up conflicts also by government, Swedish government. To, I mean, it's obvious if you would say like, for this town together you can only own, or this neighborhood, let's say, you can together only have this much. I mean, it becomes conflict, right? So yeah, but also the whole, it was really bad for them, and so much of it was their drums and other everything is like erased in history, so to speak. There is not much knowledge kept. There is some, though, but uh, sadly a lot have been lost, as well as the I don't know the language, for example, of them. I remember even as a teen, my best friend, she's from, was the one that I had it then. I still We are still connected, but um, her parents come from Yugoslavia, as it was then, and she got this teaching home, language teachings about her, yeah, whatever the language. And I wonder then, it was also when I was like 11 or whatever. Even then I didn't know a lot, that it have never been talked about this time, and that's why I want to talk to my aunt as well and more, because I think she knows a lot more. uh and yeah, well, yeah, well, yeah, well, anyways. So what was I going to say? No, just ramble. Yeah, that I wonder that we who come from this area, it was still, it was no one who could teach the language, I guess, maybe, but it was never talked about even with us who have that ancestry quite close by. So I would have loved to learn it, and I would love this when they do this kind of yoik kind of singing thing, or what you can call it. It's way easier to do in that language still. I feel like it's connected to the language. You can like do that in Swedish or anything maybe, but it feels like yeah, it fits stronger in their language. So yeah, well, a lot of that then. So yeah, and also I have some. Actually, I do have a few things here. I have reindeer horns. I have some out on my balcony as well, and here I have some. It doesn't even belong to me. I have like there's a reindeer on it. I never saw that before now exactly, but where you can put like candles into it. Just I kind of I don't. I'm not active in that. I try to learn more. I want to learn more, and also I want to include it in the medicine wheel that I do with others as well. But because this area is Sapmi, it's that country where they lived also before. But what was I going to say? Yeah, also my sort of so I can say sacred objects. You could say sacred is a good word, by the way. Yeah, well, anyway, so I have them in a Sami pouch and sort of those protective is a bowl kind of thing, not a bowl like in a never mind, never mind, a silver bowl ball, like you can keep it on I don't know, around your neck. I have a lot of small like bits and pieces of from that traditions around, and some of it I carry with me always. But yeah, what did I drift off to? That's too much. But anyways, that's why I came into this witchy stuff. I knew that in a traditional society, I don't know for sure because I don't know far back in time how that was. If it was only men who were shamans, I'm not sure. But some kind of medicine woman or something, I would have been probably shaman though. So yeah, so I was searching for that, searching for guidance because I think many will have that very strongly, as probably you do too, since you have been drawn to it so much. Then it's way easier to have someone guide you. You can get very lost in it, and also you can get pretty wrong information from others who don't understand it, like psychiatry or whomever who does not know about these things. How could they guide you where they themselves don't know what they talk about? They have no clue, like. So I'm not saying that's all bad. I'm just saying it could be better to be guided by someone who've been through this. Yeah. We live in marvelous times, though, the revival of this, but there are those who are really actively against. Have you met that, though? How open are you about it? Since you said it's an open circle, what do you mean with open? I mean, have you met like prejudice or so on? Because still people are scared of which it's like evil, or there are many misconceptions that are out there. Even those who are interested in it is somehow are don't know what it is, and it creates some sort of fear since I guess childhood stories or whatever. It's interesting, and especially those who are into. I've actually met or yeah, those who are into, for example, shamanism or so on, that fear witchcraft. I think that is bad. Clearly, they don't have a clue what it is. I mean, it could be equally bad. You can use the techniques of the shaman as bad if you would want to. Yeah, obviously. By open, I mean anyone. Good to hear from you. Can I sit here and talk by myself or anything? I mean, anyone can join in, no matter how experienced or what path they follow. Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful. But you mean path like path as what kind of witchcraft path or whatever or hmm yeah, witchcraft path, I guess. Yeah, that's beautiful. And especially if it's not, I mean, yeah, I think when it comes to the tiny coven we have here, we have decided to be pretty secretive about it. But I mean, it will develop as it should. But one thing I carry from where I stem from without exposing about them, I don't think I should, is that the thing about consensus. I know a bit more in certain areas than some, obviously. I mean, not obviously, but yeah, I do. So, of course, many things come from me then, but when it comes to decisions regarding the little group, then it is it have to be agreed upon by all of us. If one says no or question or doubt or whatever, think something else, then it won't change. It won't be or made a decision about something. I like that part. I don't want to be a leader that pushes others into something they don't want. You know, it's easy to become. I think that's the most challenging thing. to not, I mean, even if you know things, you don't know what's best for someone else. Even if you think you do sometimes. Their path is theirs anyway, even if it's the same path, sort of. They have to walk it their way, you know? Yeah. So, but I'm very, I mean, since I've also met all kinds of people, I guess you could say, I would be very careful whom I would let join, actually, because I want to. Um, is that horrible? I want to kind of check them first. I want to, get to know them kind of well, to be sure that it works well. You know, when you work with energy, it's very important to have the same. Is that a word, objective? But have the same aspiration, at least somewhat, or like. I mean, you can agree on disagreeing in certain areas, or following different, exact whatever pantheon or whatever you follow, but or work with, but still there needs to be sort of a harmony or something around, or understanding at least, that is quite strong, because to work like that is even in a way stronger than family, not stronger than family, but it's like, I mean, yeah, the energy needs to be directed in the same way. Otherwise, it's easier to work just by yourself. If the energy goes in different directions, then it's useless to work together, right? As I say it, so when you do like magic, that is, or certain things. So you must have that in common in some way or another. I started on my own words. Okay. What did I read all this? Yeah, I read. Maybe I don't read anymore. But yeah, I think words can really stand in the way. But why I also love the word witchcraft, I don't know really why, but I think I'm provoked sometimes by. That's why I can't watch like yogic videos and so on. I have a little bit hard time with those who try to be so. Oh, I don't know. It's like it's some sort of. To me, sometimes it becomes a surface. To be portraying some sort of inauthenticity, I think, yeah, that is not grounded for me. So therefore I get like I don't vibe with that well. I vibe well with witchcraft because it's like thunder and lightning stuff. I love that. Now let's see. Of course, it's not like just come to this place. Yeah, that was, I thought, everyone come on in. That would be super sweet though. People would need that to understand what it is. I guess there was a kind of process to determine that I was serious. Yeah, some would probably categorize me as dark because I used dark goddesses. Oh, I love those goddesses. I hate experts. Yeah. And the problem is to not become one. I have a tendency, and I know it very well, but it's very hard uh, to not fall in that ditch. I try to keep myself from it, and I try to voice it to those that work with me, so to speak, also to who have less experience in these fields and so on. But sometimes I become harsh. My high priestess that I worked with to begin with, and love her. I was she was quite blunt in some ways, super sweet. To me, anyways, but also very kind of sharp in her ways. I mean, she was sharp in many ways, but in a way that she could dismiss someone. I so much love that side of her. I mean, I have always been like very, not very soft. I'm very harsh when I want to, kind of, when someone bugs me enough. But I mean, yeah, she was like, yeah, I don't know, I can't describe it, but anyways, I try not to push people away by being too yeah, like being like that, because obviously I'm not. In many ways, I know certain ways and certain techniques and so on, and that's what I can tell, and that's what I can share. But that's it, you know. Whatever someone wants or needs themselves is theirs to choose. Like, but yeah, but I see I fall into that sometimes, you know, mm. because I think I'm so super good, and I am. You can hear when someone is just quoting someone's, yeah, something versus someone giving a reflected insight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's one of the most difficult things also is when people want to please you, because I think I very much was sort of a people pleaser in one way without knowing it myself before. So yeah. Anyways, I didn't understand it really that I was, but I can see that in others too, because that is not a way to work. I mean, others they also need to be. No, they if you think about it the other way around, if someone else see you as an expert, they maybe adjust what they say and whatever to you, and that's easy to detect. Though you see through that easily when people don't know or don't mean what they really say. So yeah, yeah, it's interesting. You learn as you go, but uh, yeah. But yeah, but anyways, I was always also, by the way, I won't talk too much about that, but I was always drawn to these. I mean Kali, and I didn't, though. I was like I didn't work with her much, but I was never afraid of these. I always felt those strong forces that may sound scary to some, or like dark goddesses. To me, they were always only protective. Like, I never felt, uh, I have never so far felt any danger whatsoever or any fear around the connection to those. Uh, Contrary that, Lilith, yeah, I I just feel protected, and I mean that goes for all the spiritual realm. I would say the invisible realm, not all of it. I mean there are energies there too, but that are not my match with me. Let's say. But mainly I I mean, since they can see through me in a different way than physical humans, it's so easy to be understood and seen like you are. So, and also the fact that I, maybe because I came here with these gifts, if you call them that, maybe I always had extra support from that side, let's say, because they knew what I came here to do. So, but do you know a lot about your previous life or so on? Because I feel like that is, I mean, that have influenced probably how you both connect to these various sides of yourselves. That seems very balanced in you, though. Um, but I think so. Never mind. So let's see. I will read about this some other day. This, what is this now? The science of Nad. But I love this because, yeah, and also with the yogic practice, only just to open up the energy channels and so on, work with that. I mean, I have those wonderful experiences when it comes to the meridians that are so freaking open in my case, and they have been for a long time, but they become more and more open, these challenge, no, but yeah, so that's fabulous to discover, and that also makes it easier to channel energy and work with energy, obviously, and develop those, as they call siddhis, which is like supernatural, but nothing is supernatural, everything is natural, those gifts. So I see these as these different things that I do and love and I'm passionate about. I see them as different tools, yeah, to transform what I need to transform Yeah. And as I said before, we live in a wonderful time, also challenging time, but I mean, the even though there are those who are scared and that get freaked out by this, there are still much more openness than ever before, I would say. Generally, not as much fear and what is that word? And you know, no, I wasn't thinking of prejudice really, but you know, when people believe in all kinds of things, that if a black cat walk over whatever. Yeah, I do have some past life feelings, but never felt the need to do past life regression. No, but I think you have it with you very strongly. Good. Try to be very zen. Oh, how good it would be. I must go back to doing Sasan, I think, actually, because it was very stabilizing. You get like, those solid as a rock. You really become like, even you yourself can't hardly make you get yourself out of balance. Otherwise, it's easy with your thoughts or whatever. But but I think you have a lot of. Do you remember when you first were drawn to these occult things, though? Because it seems like, and sometimes it's also because we discover something. In my case, I discovered that this actually very early, but then it was dormant for some years, I think, and then I discovered it again when I was like a teen, more so, and it was good that it was like not so active all the time. But then, because I realized some of the cult shit, no, not shit, it was awesome, but some of those things, I started searching in all kinds of directions because I knew what I experienced, and I knew that this is something people say can't be, this does not happen, and it does. So how do I like make sense of this? I wanted to understand reality very early. Yeah. And those set religions or frames, it's really framing you. That's what it does. Those dogmatic maps, they yeah, if you take them on face value, is that how you say it? They really trap you. So I think there are. Um, I think it's possible to find the sort of the underlying map, if you call it that, then, in all of these things, but you have to see through a lot and be brave enough to not be stuck or fearful to question all the things. Yeah, I think that's the thing. And also, one of the things that I love the most when it comes to the witchy things, I think, I mean, it's everything with it. I love it totally, fully. But is the fact that you actually can, or like, that you're encouraged to think about yourself and what you need and what you want. That is so much a propaganda thing, to not allow yourself what you enjoy almost, or to feel guilt for, I don't know, let's see. Well, I always had this knowing that I had the ability to make things happen. I would manifest a lot when I was younger. Yeah. Then when I was in my 20s, I met these new age people. They talked they talked a lot. Maybe it comes to and maybe we'll write more after that. Yeah. I also came in contact with a lot of new age people for a while, if you then call it that. Talked a lot about positive and energetic energies later, that I think you will continue to read. No, right, I mean. Yeah. I came in contact when I was like 20 with like this whole Yeah, Tai Chi was one of the things, but also what is it called now? This book talked about energy. Yeah, yes. Anyways, this, what is it called now? The, as they say, Jesus have their channel. What is it now? What is it called? Miracle something. How can I not remember that then? Anyways, and I saw how that shifted when we did those processes or exercises in that book, whatever it's called. Then I just saw, and it was me and a girl I lived with. We went to a group and did those exercises and stuff, and she and we both actually saw reality totally different. The people in our school, it was fascinating, like how we suddenly from have seen the reality in a certain way, it shifted, and we were so surprised because we just did this a few minutes a day or something, some exercises about how we saw reality, and it was so weird. Anyways, they talked a lot about Kabbalah, and I went down the rabbit hole and found my darker self. Awesome. And also, I met also one who moved into my apartment where I lived on, actually the night street, as in night. I mean, Knight of Cups, those, or wands, or those that street. Anyways, she moved into that, being knighted and all that. Maybe you don't remember, maybe no. Long eventually, I was too witchy for these hippies. Yeah, that's the same here. And also, to me, it was the fear. I mean, they kept it on a light version. Yeah, that's true. Also, just light as in light and dark, but also simplified in a that was like fear kept, as I saw it, some of these from the depth and from the darker self. Yeah, in a good way. I mean, the darker self is a powerful one. And what is it? Long eventually, yeah, everything had to be so damn happy-go-lucky. Yeah. Yeah, and also not only that, it was very much about, yeah, status, that kind of thing, showing off something, but also money. It was so much about this, I am the guru, and pay extreme amounts for me teaching you in a weekend, like all kinds of stuff that couldn't be taught in a weekend. And yeah, all kinds of strange, but it was fun though. And some of the chakra flow massage that I learned and so on, I still work with that sometimes. And yeah, I got in touch with some good things also, and Reiki I learned and so on. It was good though, if you then would consider that also connected to the new age. But yeah, much of it was like, did I say that before, the flaky. And I also knew, even then, when I came in contact with witchcraft, when I was like, I always say 25, since I don't know exactly when I came in contact with it first. I think it was before I read Laurie Cabot's book, The Power of the Witch. And I don't know what age I was, maybe 24, I don't know. But I saw it in a bookstore in Stockholm when I was there sometime, and then yeah, there it went. From there it went. No, but yeah, anyway, so what was I going to say? Yeah, that, God, now I start a bit tired. Yeah, gosh, how to, I might drink some water. I should have a cut coffee here now. Yeah, but the whole thing, I knew that it was much more efficient when I talked to others who was very involved in all kinds of numerology, astrology. I don't dismiss that at all, but they were like, woo, not like woo, but super awesome, sweet people. I don't dismiss them as persons, but I knew also that the practice that I did, even if it was in the beginner stage, even in when it came to witchy stuff, I knew that this power is so far beyond that. So I used certain techniques and certain healing modalities and stuff until it was really serious. Then I started it. Then I used witchcraft if someone really, really needed help. I mean, if something really, really needed to be impressed, I though worked with it to begin with very hesitantly. I still do, I guess, to some degree. Other stuff I could use all the time, or however, but when it came to using, it's also because I use my own energy a lot more. But that I've always thought through like several times before using it, although you don't have to. But oh, you take away a message. What did you say? I didn't see it even. Sorry. So yeah, they were very fearful. I remember in the beginning I used it to keep people out of my head. Wow, awesome thing. Yeah, I think I always learn from everyone, also mediums that I've come across that taught me certain things. One thing I never done, actually, I never done what anyone said to me. Since I'm a rebel, I can't just do what people say. So I obviously did something else. Whatever guided or whatever things I adjusted things slightly all the time because I just hated because that whole lack of trust thing also. I did not want to be trapped by anyone or anything. So, and I actually recommend that to those that I teach also, because I think it's a good thing to not listen too much. But then again, one thing that I should have listened to is this whole keeping your own field not so open. But then again, I'm so curious. I'm so interested and so on. So for some reason or another, I still kept myself open, and that obviously have been more detrimental. It had not been good for me. It would have been so much better if I've had used my energy to just hold my energy vibing in its own field stronger. Yeah. Once did a freezer spell on this guru type figure who was trying to dominate people. His following actually parted ways after that. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. When you start to understand the power of it, you really begin to also, first of all, it's almost, it has gone until now, until I've started to do that, I think. Although I knew the power of it, that I started to, although I've thought before, I don't do it randomly, however, but now I really know that I don't need to use all that much force. I can do a little. I don't need to, you know, you can push very, very hard sometimes where it's not needed all that much to change things also. So, so yeah, we do have so much power in our minds, first of all, and that's another thing with me and I mean, also that I don't listen. But it could be good if I would have. And also I saw auras everywhere and tried to block it out because I didn't understand what I saw when it changed and everything. It was so disturbing to see it everywhere after I had done some what is it called, rebirthing or something, a breath technique, where I went to a woman, did that. Oh, what the cramps I had and everything. But I breathed through them, like you get into some sort of yeah, it's a sort of not frantic breath, but I mean, it's super good, I'm sure. But anyways, after that, I became more open. So then I just saw auras everywhere around trees, flowers, everything, and people, obviously. And when I talked to some people, they changed their colors, and I didn't know if it was something I said and what does it mean and everything. And I took in so much information. So I was so stressed out by also seeing these colors everywhere. So I concentrated myself to not keep seeing them. But afterwards, now I realize it would have been so much better for me if I would have kept that ability. I mean, I can see them if I can like turn it on, concentrate myself on seeing them, and then I see them. But I usually don't, like, all the time, anyways. So yeah, so that was one thing. Many troubles and problems that I went through would have been wouldn't have been there if I would have kept seeing them. So that was not a smart idea. But true, I'm a good person, I think, but I'm also dark soul. Oh, that there we have a unicorn coming up, alchemy and other things. It shows, anyways, on my computer. This year, like, true, I'm a good person, I think, but I'm also a dark soul in many ways, if that makes sense. What do you mean with dark soul, though? I wonder. I don't see that in your cards, I must say, at all. I just see a wonderful soul. Maybe somewhat hurt previously, but I mean, in the dark, as in something bad. I mean, something like evil or mean or so. I think I think as the earth or something, the groundedness. To me, that's as a if you think of that as dark, let's say, that's like a very very positive power. That's the power I feel. It's not as I see it. Yeah, but yeah, it would have been so good for me if I would have listened, though. Yeah, I made so many mistakes, and I think, and I hope that I have learned, so I don't do them again. But I can get really, really triggered. Therefore, I would need like zazen or so on still to not to realize that I don't have to go to that place where I think I would need some. Because I carried a lot of rage before. I didn't even know I did, but I had that within me, also connected to this whole not trusting people and all. Um, and that, yeah, that is explosive to carry. And even if you then develop these skills and abilities more, yeah, that can cause harm. I like self defense. I am not black magic, but I can draw a lot of borderline energies if I have to. Yeah, but to me, I don't know even what that mean. Like, I mean, to me, as I talked about in Munaki, also in this shamanic tradition from the Andins, yeah, rage and sadness is from my past, yeah, and that we need to work through, and that is one thing that I is in various ways I want to connect with others so that I see what they have in their rucksack, so to speak, before I would teach them too many things. Because of that they could really cause themselves, if not nothing else, harm. Yeah, it's a sharp blade, it's a sharp tool. And that is what I felt like with all these all other new agey things that was also wonderful and awesome in many ways, but they were blunt tools, while witchcraft is a sharp, very sharp tool. So so why would you use a blunt knife if you can use a so to me it was very weird that it was dismissed by so many who did all the things around. It's like knowing how you can do something, but not allowing yourself to access that potential within because of fear, because you've been taught not to be powerful, really. That's what it is. So I think we can work with any kind of energies for whatever aims we I don't believe, first of all, and I think you don't either, since you're a witch. But I don't know what kind of a witch really you sort of label yourself as, if you say. But but to me, I mean, for example, let's say Kernunostan was one of my one of my favorites still, and a very loving energy, but super strong and super, what can you say? Yeah, I think most would back off to that energy. I mean, if that one would be protective of something, let's say. But that's not a mean energy. It's just a very, very powerful energy. As well as, yeah, if for example, Sekhmet, I was drawn to before a lot. That could go overboard. But I think we are drawn to these because of these rage we have had or have inside. Yeah, don't you think it reflects that? How can you that reflect someone who sit and like on a cloud sort of, or that's why yeah, when I hear that authenticity as I hear it, but that may not be in their minds. But when I, for example, look for yogis or so on, it's like when someone scratches, all those. Uh, what is it called? Well, this horrible sounds like when something is so off uh, energetically in my mind. So I have to listen to or check something else. But there are those that I really love as well. It depends on where I am at the time as well, of course. But yeah, but to me, I don't think there are any bad. I mean, as I said, as I was going to say, from this Andean tradition, there are no bad energies, like mean, evil energies. We are the one, humans cause imbalance. Everything else is in harmony with the all, because it is fully sort of connected. We are somewhat disconnected, and we can cause havoc. We can cause a lot of things, and we are also we are part of nature, but we are also responsible for keeping the harmony, I think. And as they talk about it, it's not no mean or evil energies as such. It's rather light or heavy energy, as in that sense. Yes, the general teaching is that there is no black white magic. It's the person doing it who determine that. Yeah, and not only that. I mean, you can have mean intent, evil intent, and that is obviously not awesome for yourself, probably, because you, as the saying goes, like you can. But it's better maybe to do that than keep some bitterness boiling inside. That would poison you. So, but yeah. Anyways, so I think whatever you work with, however heavy, let's say, or dense or dark, if you call it that, energy you work with, it's not an evil energy. It's like, to me, I think of it as the appropriate energy for the particular whatever spell or whatever magic you are doing. What fits that work. And yeah, I don't see those you know I don't know what those energies would be. Do you have an example? Demons. I don't really believe in demons, but then again, it depends on what it is. I mean, there are those also, in the spiritual realm, there are those who are more earthbound. Even those who know they are not still alive, they still linger, kind of, like in a more dense sense, more physical. For example, one of my ancestors, I've gotten him on video where he passed by with jeans and everything, where we were just me and my brother in the room. I mean, he's very, very physical, and he have very, very personal ideas. And also recently he was mad at someone. I don't know for what, but I mean, and also he likes to see, yeah, football on TV, let's say, stuff like that. So, but that's a person. There are other energies, of course, but I mean, it was a human, yeah. Anyways, but he knows he's had passed. He's very, yeah, physical. And those energies can have some sort of ego in a different way. you know. And that's also when some people say about ancestors and so on, when you do something towards someone or someone towards yourself, I mean, all of us, we have bunches of ancestors behind us. So we have to understand that it's not only the person itself. It's like, oh, I dropped something. It's like also them behind there that we, yeah, they who support or protect that person, you know, yeah. So but yeah, I don't disagree with that though, because as said, I don't see it that way, because I don't embrace the Christian faith in that sense. I think that is about power and control, the whole devil stuff, and specifically um, um, pointing out these pagan traditions and that as evil as they did, very much so before, somewhat now also, but but also hell or so on. I don't believe in that. But demons in the sense that maybe I think it is the Egyptians talking about. I don't know a lot about it, but various spiritual beings that may not care for, let's say, everyone's best all the time. And then I laugh. But I mean, yeah, yeah, I think those you can communicate with those, um, and get help from those energies as well, I think, if need be. Is that what you mean, like with borderline energies? Because to me it's like a scale of frequencies, I read about this yogic thing about uh, it's like that rather. And I think to me it becomes very much an imbalance if not the whole scale is there. I think that's why I really don't like when it's only, and it's not even a high frequency, when it's off, when it's not authentic. A high authentic frequency feels good though. Uh, but many, I think, dismiss their real selves, kind of, for some ideal or some idea about spirituality, and it becomes wrong, much wrong. So, but anyways, so I think it's all about frequency. Yeah, that sounds absurd when I read what I just wrote. I'm just so sorry. But yeah, yeah. But I think also it's like borderline energies within, maybe. Is that so? I mean, maybe that reflects, you know, if we have not, uh, what can you say, digested or processed that rage or anger and so on, sadness or whatnot, and found a way to heal that, to release that. Also with the help of nature, I see that now through the shamanistic teachings, that is, I can't do that in a logical way. That won't let go. I have to, I mean, it have to speak to my reptile brain. That's where it's stuck. So I need to do it through ceremony and rituals. Yeah, yeah. So and that those energies we connect with usually match that energy, of course. But I also think when it comes to me and being drawn to those dark goddesses, if they are called that, I think, aren't they the they may not be the most powerful, but they feel very powerful to me. So I needed that protection of the power of them. That's what I felt. I never felt that they were, even I didn't feel that they were dangerous towards others. I just felt that they were very protective to me, and that felt just good. I never, and I think that also comes along with authenticity. Actually, I knew and I know who I am, so I know that there is nothing to, what can you say, I'm not fake in any kind of way. And so I feel in the connection with the spiritual realm, I know that they know that, and therefore I know that that is. I mean, there would be full protection anyways, but to me, there have never been even a glitch, if you say. I never felt that that could ever touch me in a bad way, because now this sounds even worse than what you wrote now, because I'm so pure. I was almost saying, oh, very much so. But in a sense, yeah, in my heart and in my yeah genuine being ways, yes. So it's true, but it sounds bad to say that. Yes, I know. But yeah, I also think that since I also had a lot of things, met a lot of bad things, let's say, I believe that those protective energies were already drawn to me as well. They, I wouldn't say they claimed me, but yeah, I think Diana, for one, the moon goddess, I never were even drawn to her in any kind of way. Rather the opposite. She was I didn't even read about her sometime maybe, or it was not connected to me at all. But she would not let go. She kept uh, connecting with me all the time and being very, very protective. And so I think that some energies just or some, yeah, you could call them, there are entities, they just love us, yeah. And they want us to be safe, and they want us to develop things we have, our potential and so on. So they sort of claim us. They decide. That's what I felt also with Carnunas from the beginning and everything. I didn't choose that. I didn't choose any of that. I've been drawn to a lot of things that I felt connected to in some ways, and read about and learned about and so on. And that meant something too, but it's those who have chosen me rather than I them that have been, they, yeah, they decide. I feel that that is most of the time the case, that it's not really my decision. And even when I feel it, it may be their calling, so to speak. So I don't know. Shall I go soon? I've been here for 3 hours. Yeah, I love to be though. I didn't learn a lot about yoga. Yeah, I did. This is yoga is the connection, or what do they say in English? It would be like another word, I think. But yeah, it's the same thing. And also when it comes back to the whole zazen and all this practice dying, I've been sick several times, but one time I was very, very sick. Now I also wonder if that was not random. But never mind, I won't go back to that. All kinds of things. But I got very, very sick, almost dying. And it took me many years to recover, gradually, slowly, super, super slowly. And meanwhile, I was preparing to die. I thought I was dying. So I did some walking meditations as far as I could even walk because pain and so. But I was okay. I thought, wow, I have lived lives, like several lives already, and I was just like, what was I, 30 something, I think, yeah, like maybe a few years older. But what I felt then was that the only thing I wanted, as I thought, was to. Uh, Sorry to divert you from your yoga calendar today. Happy to chat again. Yeah, that's okay. Divert me. I love to be diverted. But anyway, then the only thing I wanted was to be ready to die. It was not like I wanted to. I never thought I would survive it, so I was sure that I would die. And there I kind of I during that time, my fear of death was erased. I was like, totally fine with it. I just wanted a little bit more time to prepare for dying. And I survived and got well and everything. But obviously, or well, I don't know. Yeah. Then anyway, so now I feel like that's really the happy part of it. I really want to be ready for the lift off. No, but yeah, I'm prepared. I'm not preparing to die. I mean, like in the near future, I think they will keep me here for long. Also, as a sort of a punishment, actually. Yeah, for things that I have maybe not been very responsible when I've done magically. So I think, I mean, not in a bad way punishment, but just like it's like those spiritual beings, as I said, then or those they like as if they would what is that when you take someone's arm, you just, I mean, in the skin, just, and I don't know, that's their way of like not snapping it, I don't know what it's like. It's like a mild way of punishment that I think I will have to stay here for way longer than I should have from the beginning, maybe. But anyways, so what am I going to get to here? Isn't it funny that we could be speaking together in Norwegian and Swedish, but using English? Yeah, that's weird. But I wonder how it goes together. You were like doing stage magic, right? Also, if I recall right, how do you blend that? I mean, do you keep that fully separate, or I mean, it's like in witchy things or in traditional ceremony and so on. It's like a theatrical portrayal of certain things also. So you could really use a lot of stage magic during, I mean, many do in certain ways without trying to fool anyone, but yeah, okay. That would be fantastic. Wow. I mean, yeah, so much of what I do is from within. And that was one thing I was going to say before, that um, many start with all the tools and all the things. I mean, practical, like using a, I don't know, whatever, all the tools as in the tarot suits and all that. Um, but to me, I always worked magic with my mind only until recently. I mean, even, yeah, maybe, yeah, with colors a little bit, a lot of, or I mean, some people I was just drawn to, like certain herbs or certain stuff like that. So I have worked with it, but to me, the whole magic have been in my mind mainly, and so it's just recently I've began. I have done it before, obviously, like practical things like spells, or even uh, especially when I have felt the need for protection, yeah, to someone not to reach me and stuff like that. But mostly not. And now I incorporate, is that word, that very much into my practice all the time. That's part of more or less all that I do, all that I wear, all that I, everything. That's like in everything. Um, and sometimes it's specific, like magic, but it's also part of everything. Like, usually it goes the other way around, that you start to work with, you do a certain, well, like spells with herbs, blah, 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 and then you gradually develop working with only your mind, but you can still use physical objects or whatever. Not as a Lima follower, but Aleister Crowley said, magic is manipulating the material world to make things happen, which is kind of how I see stage card magic. Yeah, and also, actually, stage magic is more fascinating than you usually maybe think of it, because it shows us something that we, our souls, our spirits know, that all this shit is illusory. I mean, it's not the stage magic just gives a glimpse of this that we get like shocked. Wow, how could that appear like like as if, you know? But uh but actually the whole reality is like that. We create it through our minds all the time, you know. And and we are the magicians making this stage magic that we think are just happens randomly for some reason. So that's kind of cool. That's very cool to work with that then. Because you open up that you are the glitch in the matrix, so to speak, when you do that. How cool. Yeah. And that is maybe the difference also with witchcraft and shamanism. With shamanism, as I said, I mean, there are also variations of obviously that, but then it's more like, and that is how I guess I viewed witchcraft also before. It's more like you communicate. I don't dominate anything. I communicate. I mean, I work with the herbs. I work with the uh, spirits. I work with I mean, the mountain, the river, the whatever, you know. It's not that I see it as something that is not me. It's part of me that I uh, can communicate and connect with and work with in a way that it's supposed to be. It's not like harmful, and I think the what Crowley meant, I don't know about that, but maybe I see it also sometimes like kids playing around, seeing what will happen if I do like that, and trying their muscles, as seeing how they can jump or whatever they can make happen, and and I think there is like a little bit of a disconnect there. Is it not, like, with not seeing that you are the material world, or maybe he knew that, but because you can, even if you feel that you can still manipulate it, so to speak, or influence it. Yeah. But to me, it's rather about communication. Yeah. And but I understand that you are mentioning this because of the stage or card magic, and that's fantastic. I don't understand how anyone can do that. That's more fascinating to me, almost. No, not more, but almost like then the real magic. No, no, it's not. The real magic is way more so. But yeah, it's so fascinating. It's so fascinating, all of this. And obviously there are many people, but that goes for anything you can do. You can be very ego and use it in very harmful ways. So it doesn't matter. So I don't like that it's been seen. It's like saying you should not develop your potential to because of the fear that you should use it in a wrong way. Example, as a kid, I wanted a new toy. My parents said no, so I just started doing the dishes 3 days in a row without even asking for the toy. At day three, they bought me the toy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The material world you manipulated then. Mm. Yeah, same here. Yeah, obviously. I mean, kids are always get smarter than their parents. but uh, but some are not as they don't think it out as that. I mean, consciously. I did so too. I kind of um, what is it? The word is, yeah, you could say manipulating, but I trained them. I felt like sometimes, you know, staying out a little longer, and then I knew that they would change the times. So then I stayed out a little longer than that, and then they would change the time a little bit more. Even if they said, "Oh, you can't go out now for 2 days," I knew that I would win. I knew that my time would, however far in the night that I would want to be out, that would be my goal, and I would make that happen. Yeah. So that's a similar thing. Yeah. And I did that very purposely. I stretched it a little bit, and then I waited, and then I stretched it a little bit more. But I knew they were not going to be the one deciding. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think? Shall we go for now? Take a break and come back to the yogic teacher. And I think I need to do a bit yoga now, stretching. Oh, we have a lot to talk about. Fun to hear about those things more. I need to know more about this whole. Why are you in Norway? You have to have a group in Sweden that you come to now and then, though, right? Hmm. I think I will. Yeah, we talk later. We need to pause and digest this whole thing. No, that's fine. But thanks for being here with me now, and take care. Yeah, do so. I would love to be visited. Not that I am Sweden, but yeah, we are the land. Yeah, well, anyways, I don't know. I'm tired now. Take care for now, and talk another time. Bye bye.